And there we are. All right. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Michael, Destro Designs. We are live from Viper Den Studios with the upgraded version of Live from Viper Den Studios. We are broadcasting. How many months have I been saying in this thing? Oh, I'll have the laptop up and running. It'll be better. I'll be able to add the pictures. God, I'm on the phone again. I believe that I have been saying that to you since basically the very beginning, right? So this is the laptop before when I went to go stream the very first time, I couldn't get my picture to come up. And I was like, why is this a problem? Like, I don't understand. And then it came to the realization that, I never turned my camera on, right? So when you buy a laptop, when you open it up and turn it on, the camera just isn't automatically working. They have it set to like turned off. So you got to go into your settings. You got to turn the camera off. I never did that before we crashed this laptop. So shout out to my cousin David, who is basically like my little brother. Definitely shout out to him and his wife. They're about to pop out their very first baby, like literally any minute. When I was up there, she looked like if when I was there, she was like, "Oh, it's happening. I'm going into labor." I wouldn't have been surprised. She's prime time, ready to go. But anyways, what he did was he wiped the computer completely. I was like, bro, I keep reading everywhere about this issue with the settings and that I cannot get to the settings because we have a problem with it's Windows 11. And I was like, do I need Windows 11? I was like, I know I need an operating system, but do I need Windows 11? I was like, I don't use this shit for anything. I do all my business stuff on the desktop. I was like, and I'm good over there. Well, I was until it stopped transmitting to the thing. Different story. He got that all good and it's fine. Long story short, he wiped the computer, put in old school CG, might get a kick out of this, Linux.
Okay.
Yeah, he's found that people my age, like his neighbor, they don't like this is easy for them. This is like the phone with the huge buttons. Like he's like this is the operating system for people, and he was like, dude, if you think you'll be okay with it, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm okay with. You're the guy. You got to tell me. Like I said, I just need it to work. Please just get it to work. And he did. He did a great job. He's the absolute best.
do you know what flavor of Linux he put on?
Ubuntu.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
I
was waiting for you to say, I don't know. What do you put on?
The only reason I know that is because when it comes up and says Linux, underneath it says Ubuntu. Literally, shot in the dark. I hit one. How about that? So here we are. I can now show these pictures. I mean, now don't get me wrong. CG did an excellent job cooking up the slack in that regard and having stuff for, the last couple shows that we had, especially the one where we were showing off Roblox figures, J. Antonio's art, and then Roblox was on again. Who else did we have on that other show when Roblox came on the second time? I know Riptide was on the first time. The second time with Roblox, weren't we showing something else off? I think it was just might have been pictures from Sister the Arsenal. I'm not sure. Anyways, CG did a great job for that. I'll always thank you. And welcome back to the show. As always, I love having you here. You do a great job, so I'm glad you can make it again. How are you, my brother?
I am doing great.
Is it hot?
I was up till 5 in the morning.
Ooh.
Got 3 hours of sleep. There was a little bit of drama on my comic book side.
Oh, no.
Where the FBI is now involved.
What?
You've heard me mention with Laser Pants about For the Fans Fest coming up in October.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently 2 YouTubers decided to make a tasteless joke about shooting up the casino that it's going to be at. And now the FBI is involved.
Yeah, you can't say that shit no more.
And they're just tripling and quadrupling down on this joke. And it's like, see you guys. See you in 5 years.
Right. Yeah. No, and you know what? You know what really sucks about that too is, we have enough to be worried about right now, right? Give these comic book people a place where they can go like that. I mean, that's like I'm superimposing the situation on like imagine if we were having a Joe, like we were all meeting up at Joe Fex next year, and now all of a sudden, somebody's that we've had trouble with was like we're gonna do this. And that sucks. That sucks. So yeah, I don't know, man. It sounds like a hellscape over there in the comic book zone, bro. Holy hell,
dude! It is. The comic book community is some of the worst people you'd ever want to be around. But I don't know. It's just a weird group of people. It's not like this at all.
Nice. I just caught my eye a comment from, first of all, Stu for lunch, my brother. Thank you for coming. He's got the Jitterbug laptop for Destro. Nice. No, the Jitterbug, I think, was the cell phone for old people, right? Wasn't it like it almost looked like a kid's toy? Is that what the all right, that's a good one. That's a good one. Let me just go through the comments to see who's here, then we'll say what's up to Matt. G.I. Dave in the house. What's up, my brother? Y'all stay tuned. G.I. Dave's got something cooking in the oven. It's going to be great. Stay tuned for that. Eric Wirt, what's up, my brother? Welcome. Glad you can make it. Brother Rip and Riptide or Tide Ripper Productions is in the house. What is up, my dude? How are you? We'll be talking about his generosity and how that's helping one of the members of our community right now. Big Red is here. What's up, Big Red? Glad you can make it, my dude. How are you doing down there, Big Red? I know it's fucking surface of the sun hot up here on the northern part of the East Coast. I'm sure it's probably horrible down there. Call sign Smash is here. What's up, my dude? He said, I just had a moment with my wife too. Funny not share. I jokingly said I was going to do hot dog reviews on my Instagram. She's now begging me to do glizzies with globules. I mean, it goes so well. You could have like globulus and then his two nutsacks that he flies around in, and it would be like a giant phallic symbol. Glizzies with globulus. Listen, I'm in. All right. If you want to come on the show and do glizzies with globulus, we will individually cook our own hot dogs in front of the camera, and I would do that. That sounds fucking crazy. That's really, I don't know why, but that's really funny to me. And again, Stu for lunch. What's up, my brother? Thanks for coming. Roblox is here. What's up, Roblox? Everybody stay tuned. Roblox, if you've probably seen it by now, it's got a line of figures coming that looks amazing. Call signs glizzy reviews coming to you live on Thursdays. I want to be your first guest. Shotgun on your first guest. Orskizio's here. What's up, my brother? How are you? Did the family make it back safe, brother? I think his family was traveling. Yeah, let me know that they made it back safe. Paul Morales is here. What's up, Paul? How are you, my brother? At the Toy Chamber. Make sure you're following. And I think that's it. I think I got everybody. Forgive me if I missed you. All right, so yeah, so that's I'm sure you're exhausted, CG. That's a late night. I hope everybody makes it out okay on that one.
Yeah. We're just watching a lot of live streams going on last night. People talking about it and stuff, and yeah.
Well,
nothing
I mean,
like drama.
Nothing makes its way around the internet's like drama. There ain't no doubt about that.
Yeah,
that's what's up. And also here, man of the hour, we have Matt from Mo's Mind. Matt, welcome back. Glad you're here. What is up, my brother?
This time, right? So just my hands in front of a screen. It's just
right. For sure. Well, it's hard to, I've tried to find different ways. So when I was doing all this earlier, I do have an option to add a second camera. And so it's like, okay, if I have this here, I could have another table right next to me, right? With the camera looking down, and then I could just easily, reach over and what was that?
Right.
What were those things when we were in high school where the overhead projector, right?
Yeah.
It's like an overhead projector just off to the side. Awesome. But we've got some new stuff from the M.A.G.S line, which is kind of like, Matt originally has all the amazing Outposts, the bar, the Atlas, the bigger dial game changers. And now what we've got, is there a little apparition?
You're being visited by something. Yeah. It's
yeah, okay. I didn't know we had a ghost until I went live on the camera. Let me just that's weird. It's like still look at
that. Ooh.
What the fuck?
That's wild.
If
I still doing gummies, I'd be freaked out right now.
Right. Now,
like y'all saw that too. Like
I was going to make a joke about being marked for death, but that's not funny. Okay. Well, I don't know. I've always said that I've had something floating over my head that's been looking out for me since day motherfucking one, and I don't know. Maybe there it is.
Hopefully, it didn't leave.
I didn't really load all these pictures. Whatever that was like reaching over the top of me and making it happen. That was fucking weird, right? Hopefully I'm recording. We could see that back on the YouTube. Very strange. Anyway, We just lost 4 people. They're like, oh yeah, I ain't fucking with that. You keep that curse over there. Mm-mm. That's hysterical. Totally lost my train of thought. Yes. Oh, so brother Matt has been delivering big dishes of awesomeness, right? Like with the Atlas and everything, and like the RZA, he is diversifying his bonds, and he's come out with the M.A.G.S line, Mo's Armament and Gear Systems. We all saw the first offering, which was the slings, right? Matter of fact, here I've got a real quick. I'm just going to try to bring one of these up. So this is not you, the shots you sent me, Matt. I'm going to add. This is one of the ones that I took. There's an up close. I fucking love this shot because it shows how you can utilize it from a 2-point sling to a single point sling. I think that's my favorite part about the sling itself is that you could take the same one and send it on Tunnel Rat. Like, I had it. Mm-hmm. Tunnel Rat's got that bigger, what is that, an M60, I think? And you can use it up over the top of his head and it sits just right on the stock and then down on the barrel kind of. But when you have a smaller, AR platform style weapon, right? And here's the thing, like this actually slipped a little bit. So if you're looking and you can see the where it attaches to the butt of the stock, if I lifted that stock up and tightened it, it would have held it a little bit closer to the grip, and then that's what actually would look positioned, right? Because when you sling up, you almost want that barrel or the butt of the stock just below your shoulder point, right? So you just lift, right? You don't want to have to pull it up and you just fucking boop, and then there it is. It's right where it needs to be. But anyway, I thought that this showed off the slings very well, and I wanted to throw that one in there real quick. And so let's see, we'll move that. Now we're back. Look at that. Just like that, we're in with some cool ass shit. It's way easier than I would have anticipated, right? The hardest thing, I don't even want to say that it was hard, was trying to figure out how to get the pics, because I do everything on this. Everything is on this freaking phone. Like literally everything that I do operates through here. And so I was like, what's the easiest way? And I just emailed them to myself as an attachment. And then I just I did have to individually download them though. That was something else, but really it's all good. It was all good. Mm-hmm. So we'll be getting into that in a minute. Real quick, we're going to talk about what happened this week in the world of G.I. Joe. So we got our second fan stream, right? And now, obviously, it's an upgrade from last year, right? Because we didn't have a second week stream last year. We got stiffed. It's from the rumor that I think we're all taking on faith as more of a fact is that it had to do with they didn't want to promote the police officer. They didn't want to, obviously they weren't so worried about it that they weren't going to release it at all, which obviously that would have been a big loss now that we have it, considering how well it sold and all the gear it came with. I think that's isn't that like that it was that one, and then the one after the police officer they dropped the special forces, and that's where I was like, man, what happened to all the good accessories? Because the police officer was full of like a whole bunch of really great stuff, and we all know how I feel about that special forces guy. But so at least we got our fan stream, which was always nice. And I did enjoy that, even though I'm not as dead into the comic books as a lot of other people are right now. I'm still glad that they're making comics, and that I think they started off the fan stream with that, right? Wasn't it about the comics, I think, for like the first couple minutes or whatever, and then they got into the releases. But what was weird was they just they went from like saying something last week to, oh, okay, now here it is. And then they had no new name reveals. So it was very, okay.
Well, they showed Dusty, right? Dusty, yeah. And
yeah, we got his render, right?
We got his render. We knew they had announced that he was coming, right? Usually like what they're doing is giving us a name where they don't even have a render. Like last week they talked about Dusty, and they showed that off picture. They did the DIC picture. They talked about the Avalanche Rescue guy and showed that odd whatever that drawing that picture came from. And then this week they just gave us the render and said it's up for pre-order. So I don't know. I hate to be, Connie complainer, but I don't know. I just felt like, I don't know. I think 2025 was such a banging year where
That's gonna
it
be hard
seemed
to
like
beat, right?
every 8 days they were like, here's some fucking totally awesome shit. And my wig was blown back consistently. I was ordering a bunch. I don't know. And I find that this year, like, I've barely bought anything new. You know what I mean? Now, you've all heard me say I'm trying to get this remodel done. So a lot of money's going up there, right? But at the same time, I mean, I did wind up getting the Ninja Vor Zartan. At first, I was like, no. And then it sold out. And then it popped up on Target. I want to say Pop Cult Frenzy threw it out there that it was happening. And the next thing I know, I did order some. So I don't know. We'll see. I feel like somebody I just saw a new name come up in here. Brother Animus in the house. What's up, my dude? How are you? We'll be talking about you and your amazing artwork in a second. Jai Dave says I'm still waiting on royalties for the Tiger Force Outback head sculpt. I was robbed. Yeah, I know. There's a couple ones that I'm waiting on. That 12-inch Firefly. That's uncanny. I can't remember who popped that up on the timeline, but I did a video where I was on top of a roof. I was doing a chimney repair, and I was talking into the camera, and it was real close. And the dude was like, "Wait a minute, I've seen that face before." And he took a picture of this 12-inch one. And even I had to say, I was like, "Oh wow, yeah, they owe me that money." And when I was on 3POA a couple Saturdays ago, we were talking about the Shipwreck Cadet Deming 2-pack, and Laser Pants was like, "Hold up." And then he brought up this nice picture of the shipwreck without the bandana on his head. And again, I had to say, now my beard has been a little bit longer than it is normally. I've had it tight. Now, I think right around the time the kids were born, shit was like this. It was a full length. I was approaching ZZ Top looking. And my mom was like, hey, you got the long hair. Now you have the super long beard. You look like a homeless person. Can you please choose one or the other? And it's my mom. I had to. Yeah, my mom is very frank like that for sure. I couldn't deny her that. So, Stu for Lunch says, "Man, that old man Outback is a great figure. It is. It is. I don't know if I have it right here. I think I put it away in the bag. The first thing that I did with it was like that picture I just saw with the slings from M.A.G.S. Mine. I fucking love that figure. Oh, and I mentioned it in the timeline. I took over Shadow Tracker, Tiger Face Outback, and then I had OG Beachhead and Night Force Tunnel Rat. Right, I took those. They were just like available rate quick, and I threw some stuff in, and I took it over to the crick. Well, I had this old wine rack that I had built for a customer. It was inexpensive. I did it out of pine, so it wasn't like a whole bunch of money and materials. But it took me a long time. There's a lot of smaller pieces, and I was paid for it, but they said they didn't want it. They were moving, and it didn't no longer fit in this outdoor area that they wanted, and all this other stuff. So I took it apart, and now I have this stuff to make a kind of like a dock. So it's going to be in the creek. It's in the creek. My kids tear me apart for when I say creek. It's going to come off the land and be submerged in the water, and I'm going to be able to bring up the Merc and the Night Landing. Well, they're both the Merc from M.A.G.S. Mine, but I just call the one the Night Landing because it's blue and it's what it looks like. Yeah, this mother effer right here, the Merc. One of the first big shots that I did for Matt and M.A.G.S. Mine was of the Merc and the Outpost, and I had such a great time building that. So I really look forward to taking this out into the creek on the new landing. And if I really I would love to bring the fort mods, and I would almost make if anybody read that article that I did about the surveillance port, or you've heard me tell the story how I used to create this like fake river and use the parts of the surveillance port that had like the legs kind of in the running water. And I want to do something like that again, where we've got this nice little dock, so to speak. I've got the fort mod set up. The Night Landing is coming in, and it's a full blown Cobra outpost. You know what I mean? Like, the only problem is, I when I was there the last time, I did see it's at the end of a cul-de-sac, but the houses are stop on each side. Here's the Sac part. There's no houses here. It's a dead end street. How about that? It's a dead end street. And I did see when we were walking up, there was a lady in the house on the one side, and I made sure I gave her the wave that she saw I was there with my kids, like a normal person having fun in the creek with their kids. And then when we were leaving on the other side of the street, there was another lady out there who I could tell was putzing around the yard because she was very curious about what we were doing over there. And my kids had notebooks and I was taking pictures. I had fucking toys in my hand. I was the one with the toys, not the kids. So I made sure to wave and signal, wave the white peace flag, like so when you see me back down here, you know that like I'm not a complete crazy person, because I think I'm going to drive the truck over next time, and it's going to be full of shit, and I'm going to make a whole day out of it. Because only thing that I would need to bring beside, because I started thinking about everything I need to bring over. One of them was probably close to 4 or 5 gallons of bug spray, because holy shit. Like I was like, I came back now. It was, I never felt, it was the most I put into a shoot. Almost, well, no, I guess I built that one jungle thing. That was a lot. But dude, I was like soaking wet up to my shorts, because I was like kneeling down in the water trying to like get the camera down and whatever. And yeah. But it was so much fun. So stay tuned. There's gonna be a lot more on that. Nice.
Just go up and talk to those neighbors there and just be like, I'm here doing this. Just want to let you know what I'm doing. And a lot of times people stop caring. Once you sound like professional at what you're doing, right? Like own it.
Right. No. I think if I was ever to go over there later in the evening, even at dusk when it's starting to get dark, I would probably knock on the door and just say, hey, just so you know, I'm over here doing some photography, not disposing of a body or anything like that. Just normal toy photography type stuff. You're right. And dude, I'm very lucky in the neighborhood that I live in. Not only are my neighbors on each side just the best, they largely mind their own business when we see each other. There's a ex-cop on one side and a single mom on the other, but they take good care of their property. They mind their business. It's quiet every day. Like it's really old couple across the street. And there is kitty corner from us. There is I don't know how to describe, a strange family, but harmless. Like you see a lot of weird shit, but who am I to judge how people live their lives or whatever? So, but yeah, I've definitely won the lottery there. And I would love to, set up, like I got the bar from Matt up here, the blue one that kind of matches with those. And that's the one I got those doors from GI Customs. So it's like I could do a whole entrance to the river kind of sort of thing. Like, dude, I'll tell you, I don't think I would love the Fort mods as much, A, if they didn't come with the Trench Viper, but B, if they didn't pair up so well with the bar, right? Because those colors are so damn close, and it's like you didn't really get the gist of it because of the way I did that last snow shoot. But if you think about it, the bar is kind of like you have the gun placement in the middle, and then I have the first set of walls come over and the next set come back. So you almost have a U-shaped thing, which creates an in and an out. And then you could put the Fort mods on each side. Like right now I have 4 of them. So it's like 2 here. And shout out to Eric Louvre. Eric Louvre is sending me 2, one for me and one for Mark Fogarty from Destro is my spirit animal. Shout out to Eric. Eric is a fan from Ireland who just reached out and was like, hey, I'm going to send these to you. And if you could come across the Pythona and or a Range Viper, I'll take one. So I actually have a Pythona I'm going to send him.
Wow.
And I'll see if I can cop a Range Viper to send him. It was very nice. Yeah, listen, a lot of people talk about all that I've done for the community. The community has been very fucking good to me in the past year. Like just CG alone has been unbelievably thoughtful and generous, and I'm going to be getting them back around and sending some stuff out myself. So everybody hold tight. Matter of fact, I have some stuff that's got to go out right freaking now.
Fort mods, I really feel like if they would have released like a 3-pack of just them, right? So you can put them together, because that's where they really look good, is when they're at, like there's multiples of them and other things are going on. Because especially being blue by themselves, that's where that tactical toilet came from. Like
agreed.
Yeah,
agreed. And honestly, these little railings changed the game completely. Now, don't get me wrong. If you have just one and then you use one of those stands with a searchlight and you got a guy standing behind the searchlight, it's okay. That's it's not bad. It's pretty cool. But if you get two of them and then you've got one on each side, or you stack them both together, because and honestly, so originally I had two on one stacked up and then two on the other, and I didn't like it as much as when I put like two of them together with a short one next to it and then just one on the other side, and it just looked way cooler. But again, you have this option to open them up. Like something else that I thought about doing too is I was thinking about buying a Joe one and then painting it, changing it a little bit to a Python Patrol, because at some point when I get around to it, I'm going to build that giant Python Patrol entrance to Cobra Island, right? And at the bottom, underneath the waterfall, I'm going to have this one giant rock where water is going to spill over a little bit. And then like underneath it, I wanted to have something where you could see into like a command center. So it was like almost just slightly raised above the water, hidden by of the river in the front, hidden underneath the cascading water across. But this was just going to be something where you could see in there where they built into the thing, right? They didn't whittle it out like a caveman
thing going on in there, right?
Right. Definitely.
The Joe one, maybe it's the color of it, but the Joe one, I always thought the face of it, instead of that being like a defensive position, it's more of like a holding cell, and that's that hole that the gun goes through is where they like slide the food and stuff. You know, you can make some bars to put in the window.
Wow. You know what? I fucking agree with you on that. That is very interesting. And you could put a few of them next to each other and have like the face, you know, oh, here's Zartan and a couple of the Dreadnoks. Like they were out raising hell and we found them. Yeah, that's interesting as shit. I see what you're saying.
You could have like Boa or somebody like reaching through and like pulling like a grunt figure, you know, like got too close, you know.
Right. Get those police officer handcuffs and they can stick their hands out to get put, you know, because that's like in jail, that's how they do it. You stick your wrists out through the hole, they handcuff you, and then they open the door. So I've been told. That's not fun. Let's see. I feel like I missed comment. No. Oh, what'd I do? Oh, I hit the teleprompter button. Don't need that. I just make it up. Very cool. Did the stream freeze? Did it?
I didn't notice anything.
That's weird. I had to close and reopen. The ticks have been absolutely call sign smash says the ticks have been absolutely awful this year. It makes me hesitant to shoot outside right now. Well, I'll tell you, like it's not a conspiracy that meat tick. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? There's the meat the tick that makes you allergic to meat. Dude, a friend of mine got that like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. It was just a friend I hadn't seen in a long time. I was in his neighborhood and waiting to pick somebody up, and I reached out and was like, hey, and I went in there and he had all like like the Beyond Burgers and all this, you know, turkey, whatever, or not turkey. It was anyway, he was like, yeah, I can't. He's like, I got bit by this tick and I get violently ill whenever I eat red meat. I was like, no. I love chicken, but no steak. Oh,
man, giving up steak and hamburger? No way.
Not a fucking chance.
How violently sick, right? Like,
right. Take the
deal with it.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, how ill? How ill do you get? It's right. There's got to be a level of how ill in order to get me to stop. Andrew Sabina 201, welcome in. He says a fate worse than death. Listen, it's not like I can afford to eat steak every day, but dude, I like steak so much that I'll even get a very inexpensive cut and just season that bitch right. If you season it and cook it just right, I don't give a fuck what it is. I can make it taste good.
Beat the hell out of it, right? Yeah.
Right. I mean, personally, if you get kosher salt and you let it sit in room temperature for about 45 minutes, and then you put the right amount of kosher salt on there and you cook it just right, I don't even care. I will sit outside. I left the grill. I have a Weber grill that I left open, and it, like, the bottom of it practically filled up with water. The grease trap, like the water pushed the grease to the side, and it, like, the areas where it would spill out from filled and then the whole entire thing filled. So it's just been a rusty mess. I like got out the grinder, ground it down and tried to paint the inside again, but it's just never right. I'm always worried that I'm fucking eating rust and paint flakes and shit like that. But that's how much you love it. Stu for Lunch says cheap cuts and time with salt for the win. Hell yeah. Yeah, you know it, brother. I mean, that's that. I don't know what it is about that room temperature thing. And again, I'm not no super connoisseur cook. I just know that like if I don't let it sit out in room temperature the right way, it doesn't taste the same. Now, of course, is it the same exact steak? It's a I mean, there's many variables, but Stu for Lunch is picking up what I'm laying down. That's what's up. Oh, real quick. So before we launch into some other stuff, I'll probably mention this again towards the end, but we're going to talk about it now. So pinned to my Twitter, I have a tweet, or X if y'all, some people, like I was talking to somebody the other day, they're like, why do you still call it Twitter? I was like, because it is Twitter. I don't know why. X. So up on X, where we have home base for this wonderful Joe community, I have a tweet that's pinned up there. Right now we are having a raffle. So for $7, now you can donate as much as you want because this is for a good cause. What we are doing is, so right now, I'll get to the other part later. Right now, what is in essence going to be the fourth prize is going to be the HasLab Cobra Commander. Country Gentleman reached out and said, hey, I want to donate my HasLab Cobra Commander. So I'm adding that as a fourth. Hold up. Third prize is this wonderful Night Force Big Ben. Listen, if you don't have this, you don't know how awesome it is. It is a primo figure. The accessories are all elite. Every one of these is like elite in the classified line. I wish I could just take it out of the box to show it to you. If you don't have this, you need this. Also, something else that if you don't have that you need is this. This to me might be the most underrated set in classified, and I say that because it's not talked about enough, right? You don't see it in pictures like constantly. This set is unfucking believable. When the figure alone is amazing. The colors, the whole thing, all these different accessories. They did get this right? This I've seen this in a couple different times, but that added touch of green is amazing. As always, the pet is good. And then, of course, for the first prize, we have a unopened, still sealed Serpentor, which if you don't have this, you know you want it. You can get it for just $7 as one entry. Now, I would implore you to get more, right? But this is where it's at. And then actually, hold on one second. There is something I got to add. I've gotten pretty good at this. I usually don't have to get up all that often anymore, but hold up. Oh, there it is. So my brother Cletus of Cobra also reached out, and he wanted to add. Now, I was hoping to have done a video for this, and I didn't have a chance. So he was not only inspired by the greatness of the contest, these wonderful piece of art that Animus sent me. I'll show that off in a minute. Cletus reached out and he said, I would like to add a special little something, and hopefully maybe this can help. And I said, sure. So what is in essence going to be a side prize of this here is if you buy 5 entries or more, you're not only added into the original pool, you are after these prizes are picked and everybody has those. This is a special side prize. Cletus of Cobra is going to draw you a character of your choosing, and you can have Cletus in there with you. Let me just show you. This is the motherfucking Christmas card that dude sent me. Okay, it's very cool. It is very cool. Like if you look at everything, that's Cletus. I'm Santa Claus Alley Viper, which Santa Claus Alley Viper. Hello. I mean, how awesome is that? And they're basically like, fuck it. We're going to take down the Joe base. We don't need nobody else besides the two of us. So very creative, very just it was a very cool thing. I remember when I got in the mail, I was like, dude, wow, that is amazing. So that is a side prize. If you buy 5 entries or more, we go through all these prizes, and then there'll be one more thing. We'll pick a last name out of a hat, and then you will get that custom made to you. And like you said, you can have your own just one character. I'm pretty sure he'll be flexible to a certain degree on what you can get in the picture. I know he just was moved. He reached out. He wanted to help. Now, Matt from Mo's Mind and CG Horror also offered something, and I feel like we're going to do a separate thing afterwards because it's so much that if you start adding up the value of everything, we could just sell it outright to get, right now there's decent rafflets coming in, but CG Horror is it. You know what? We can. I don't know if you guys want me to say it yet, or we can just wait.
What we're donating?
Yes, yeah.
I don't mind. Yeah,
I didn't think so, but at the last minute, I was like, I didn't talk about it. So CG Horror is going to be donating a claw, and Matt from Mo's Mind was thinking about donating a bar, which is that bad boy right there. Actually, Matt reached out not a while ago, actually, about donating one of those to something else, and it had already, like, we were at the tail end of it and everything, so we said, all right, we'll do that next time. So this will be something separate that most likely is going to benefit the same person. But we will get that set up, once we kick this off. We might just do a straight, because if you have, 2 prizes for a separate raffle, of a smaller scale, and plus it's the post. Everybody has done an amazing job sharing the post. I think it's got like 10,000 views, which means that the donations are coming in. We're doing very good. We're on track to like get to the idea that I had, and just a shout out to the community because everybody has showed up in what ways they can, right? Because not everybody. I mean, right now we know the economy is on fire, so there's some people that I know that sent $20 or $30, and like I know that in those particular cases they're choosing to go without something for a week, because they're what, I'm just gonna get, I have all this, fine, I can go without this or that, and it's in essence, if you donate $30, that's like a pre-order. You're giving up a pre-order. Maybe there's, instead of getting two of a figure, you only grab one, and you donate a little bit. So, but CG has already donated. We're gonna give a claw, and then I think we're gonna find a very interesting way to come up with something else, and then that way your guy's name is more in the lights, and it's not underneath a long list of things that people wanted to. You know what I mean? It'll just be a separate production that I think will work out well, and we'll keep it moving. So GI Dave says Cletus is the bomb. He is. He's a great dude, and like I said, it's a lot of times when you show art like this, it doesn't quite give you the level of detail. That's a little better, right? He really outdid himself on this. I thought it was incredible. So shout out to Cletus for donating and reaching out to help out. I think that's very excellent of him. Now, if you're listening and you're unaware of what I'm talking about, on Twitter, home base for our lovely G.I. Joe group, right now there's a pinned tweet that shows all the details. And basically what we're doing is we are raffling off some great figures. 100% of the proceeds are going to go towards our brother Animus Levels. Now, Animus Levels has been a great guy, excellent part of the community, very positive, very encouraging. And tragedy has fallen on his family. He lost 2 of his adult daughters, which alone is just a world of stuff to deal with. But on top of that, he stepped up to the plate and has adopted their surviving children. Between the 2 daughters, they had 6 kids. So he has now added 6 kids to his house where he already had 2. So our man is raising 8 kids right now. Have you been to the grocery store lately? Then I know just try to do that math real quick, right? How many kids do you have multiplied times what to get, 8 kids? And that's just the grocery store. To put it in perspective, I tried saying, I was like, even if we send $600, he'll be lucky to get shoes for the kids. That's it, right? Like, it's just, and again, I know, and if you can, please only donate if you can, but I'm sorry, by raffle. It's not technically a donation. You're getting a chance. So for every $7 you donate, you get 1 entry into this. I'm probably going to do the drawing live because there's a lot of people that this is, to keep it. When it was, before where there was like 15 or 20 of us on something, and it's just the community. This I'm going to be pulling people from different social media sites. So probably going to do a live drawing where I'll have everybody's name written down on individual pieces of paper for all the entries. We'll have a big thing, and I'm going to have my daughters pull the names out, and that's how we're going to decide the winners. We're going to do that live. Now, just to speak to the type of person that Animus is, obviously before I announce anything on the timeline, I had to reach out to him and I had to say, hey, would you mind? I was like, have you happened to have won the lottery recently and are very rich? Because if you do, then maybe you don't need this. But if you haven't won the lottery, we would like to do this for you. Do you mind if I tell your story? You could remain anonymous. And he was like, nope, absolutely, tell the story. And at the end of the conversation, he was like, he's like, I really appreciate everything you've done for the Joe community. And this, obviously, he's like, I'm going to use my God-given talent to send you something. Immediately, I was like, I was talking to Stevie Z about this earlier. I'm touched by anything. Anytime somebody sends me any little thing, it makes me very, very happy. So I was like, oh, that's great. And I like being surprised. So I didn't ask him what it was. I had to guess. I was like, oh, I know he's artistic. It'll probably be some kind of a drawing, perhaps. Well, if you haven't seen it yet, our boy is Leonardo motherfucking da Vinci and sent me what is now my definitive look of Destro. Now, you've seen a lot of different Destros, and they all kind of have a very similar look, but the devil is always in the details. So it's the choices. Now, I probably should have done just a picture, but I'm going to pull this up for y'all to see. If you have not seen this yet, this is the coolest goddamn thing I have ever fucking seen. This is just like, so he's got a little bit of like, if you look at the little red highlights on the one side with like the glow highlights on here, it's like there's a light shining down. And so you can see the light here, but then it's reflecting the red back up a little bit. I love the red in the eyes. I would, if you had told me that ahead of time, I would have been like, I don't know. I've never seen it like that. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. If you look at the bevels on his jewel, which make the jewel, the dimension, the bevels, I mean, just, it's unbelievable. The skin tone, the bolts on the neck thing. This picture is a series of choices, and it's great. And also, if you look, just these touches where it's a little white on the edges, it just adds to it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I was blown away. My children were blown away. It's my favorite thing. Like 100%. Animus, I cannot thank you enough. Like the edges and the way that he has it set, I don't even need to frame that. Call sign Smash had suggested I put it somewhere back up here, and I think I have to agree with him. I think that should actually be back there. Considering Destro is like in my namesake, right, with the whole thing. So something else that's cool, total side note, the Scottish coat of arms for the McCullen clan turns out to be very similar to my Dutch coat of arms for my last name. I swear to God, I just happened to, my cousin had it up when I was at his house, the Dutch coat of arms for my family. And I was like, that looks familiar. I was like, maybe I've seen ours before. And then I remembered that I looked up, because what I was going to do, I thought about maybe the Destro design symbol being the coat of arms for the McCullough clan, right? Something we could incorporate that in there. And I never really got around to doing it, but I thought it looked great. Eric Wirt says the painting is amazing. Orskizio says, I can't stop staring whenever you whip that out. Wait, no, right. But listen, and Animus says, thank you. No, brother, thank you. Thank you. I fucking love that thing. The effort, the generosity to it. It's just, I love it. No, here's the truth. Here is the truth. When I opened that and I looked at it upstairs, and I showed the kids, and I was like, what? I came down here with it to the finished side of the basement, and I set it up on the thing, and I sat back at the table, and I think it was a good 25 minutes. I sat total silence, and I literally was not looking at anything else but all the different details of the painting. And honestly, I legitimately cannot remember the last time I sat in silence and stared at something for 25 minutes. I one or the other. Staring at something while being loud is still rare, or being loud while staring, or even one of those two things is a feat unto itself to get me to do. But when you make me stay silent and focus on one thing, because I have like a squirrel brain. I'm just, so Animus, you've outdone yourself, and I've talked to the man. Please, I'm trying to encourage our brother to possibly take some commissions. It's something he's got a lot on his plate right now. Obviously, there's a lot that he's dealing with and standing up for. So I feel like there is a market out there, because again, it's not just like an okay painting. It's not, it's not like, oh, this is nifty. I would put that in my fucking living room if my wife wouldn't have a heart attack. Obviously, I would put that in my living room, 100%. I even started to think, I was like, because I'm like, do I put this in my bedroom? I was like, the studio is an obvious place for it, but I was like, this is true art. It belongs in the fucking Louvre. Complete Carnage is here. He says, hey fellas, I'm on the runway in Nashville. Have a great show. Love your work, Mo's. Yes, talking to you, Mo. Sean, thank you so much for hopping on real quick. I greatly appreciate you. And I hope you see all the love that you get on that Twitter timeline. We are all infatuated with your work, 100%. And just to tease it again, Sean and I have gone back and forth a few times about a story. So stay tuned. The collaboration is real. And my dude is an endless wealth of great ideas and an amazing photographer, and prolific. Right? How many shots a day do we see come out of our dude's camp? That's just a mind-blowing shot, a mind-blowing detail, little quick. Like he does in 140 characters what it takes me like 2 full pages to do, right? To tell a story, it's like 2 full pages, and our dude is putting it in a thing. So travel safe, my brother. And we will talk again soon. Hope your recording went well. I believe he was down. I think I saw on the post he was recording music. He's a talented musician. Go figure. Very good. So let's get to what is. Oh, so anyways, to put a bow on that raffle. Fourth place is the HasLab Cobra Commander. Country Gentleman is just going to hold on to that. As soon as the winners are drawn, I'll have them send that directly to you. Third place is the Night Force Big Ben, which is absolutely amazing. Must have. Now, this was donated by Just Another Jerk. I should say that. This is from Just Another Jerk. Second prize and first prize are donated by the ever generous Riptide O'Leary. So this right here, complete set. It's a must have. Got to have it. And then, of course, one more time, first place is Serpentor, which this thing is amazing. I have a Serpentor that was a gift from CG Horror. I fucking love that thing. CG has sent me a bunch of stuff, and I've only been able to take so many pictures recently. So, CG has made me. I got this, which actually is supposed to be up here. I got to find a way to hang that. And he has printed me a bunch of totally ridiculously awesome vehicles. But the latest one, when I met him in real life, homeboy sent me this. I just want to show it off real quick. Hold on, let me see if I can. Yeah. So my brother sent me this. Absolutely. Hold on. Do I not have it? There we go. It's an ASP. In case you hadn't noticed, it is absolutely amazing. Everything about it is perfect. These cannons, I feel like, are 100% exactly the way that I want them to look. Just so incredible. The detail on the inside, it swivels on the base, right? And one of my favorite details is it's got the skid plate. How can I show? Oh, it's got the skid plate markings. So when it's turned and got a trooper stepping on and off. So CG, I do have a shot planned for this. Oh, that's right. We had a good laugh that this would have, if they didn't tell me it came off, I would have knocked it off and thought I broke it. But I love that because it can come off and you get a figure to stand there. It's just perfect. Towable as a motherfucker. The wheels come up and down, everything. Now, it's a little tight, so I'm not going to do it right on here, but it is a fully posable, absolutely awesome. And again, another incredibly thoughtful gift because my dude listens when I talk. And he hooked me up with that, which is amazing. Now, I had no idea that one was coming. So, right. Wait, did you tell me that?
Yeah, I told you that before.
Okay. All right. But it was still like hold on, where we all go. It was mind blowing. Hold on. Let's see.
Oh, this is like they do on the news where we all argue over each other.
right. Like this, right? That's what this reminds me. Right. My brother Tyler from Figure Fight Club does a show on Thursday nights. It's a newer show. It is Well, actually, is the name of the show, and they have it set up like was it Around the Horn? That sports show where they literally award points per like actual numerical points per talking point. So if you like win the back and forth about something, he awards you a point. Homeboy has asked me to come on. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I was on like 4 shows in 3 days that week, and to come back on Thursday, and it's not until a little later in the evening. So I was just like, I can't schedule a bunch of easy stuff for that Friday. So nice. Looks like we've got something happening. Yes, that's Around the Horn. Thank you, Orskizio. It looks like Orskizio is throwing the idea out there. I'd pay for a gung ho, and Animus says he will touch base, and that's how it works, fellas. You know, and you get an amazing piece of art, and you're helping an amazing guy. G.I. Dave says, I really love the ASP assault system pod, AA defense capable of direct fire, high velocity guns. It's a badass piece. I was obsessed with it as a kid. That whole standing up part of it, obviously ridiculous, right? It's like, oh, when I'm laying down, I have a low profile to get shot. Allow me to stand myself up completely so I can definitely get fucking hit now. I don't care. When I was a kid, I fucking loved it. My only complaint about it was that it was blue, and I didn't have anything blue to pull it with, and that made me absolutely crazy. So I'm trying to think what I did. I think I hooked it up to, I think I did something where I had a fang and a string coming from the fang, and the fang actually carried it around. Swear to God. It was the closest thing I had that made me all right with it. So here we are. We started talking about it, and as usual, I got sidetracked. Second week of Yojo June is here. A little bit meh on the live stream itself, but you know, we got some pretty cool stuff. I'll start off with the Ethan Hunt makes his way to the classified line.
Yep.
Very much I can enjoy it just for that. But man, $42. Oh.
Especially for everything that's reused. All the accessories are reused.
Right. And don't get me wrong, they're cool accessories. There's a decent amount of them in there, right? I think feels like there's a decent amount. It's not a good amount, but it's not horrible either. It's like, if here's the middle, it's like a step towards good, right? It's a decent amount. What did you think, Matt? Is Ethan Hunt for you?
Like, no, that's an easy pass for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So G.I. Joe in general, right? Like, the more you get away from, I know we're suspending belief, but like the more you get away from like a guy wearing green and doing military things, the less interested I get.
That's fair.
Few exceptions, right? I mean, like a blue Snake Eyes is fine, right? That's fine. You know, the Desert Scorpion kind of sci-fi look, that's good for me too. Like near future, I'm fine with, but when you start getting into like the bright colors and that kind of stuff, it's not for me.
Okay. CG, I think I saw you got one, right?
Yep, I did pre-order one. Strictly for the idea of if they're going to come out with Lara Croft, Ethan Hunt team up, whatever. It's if it wouldn't look like Tom Cruise, I probably would not get it. Right.
Listen, that element of it. What was, I think it was Monday. Somebody said that on the live stream when I was on with Mark from Destroys My Spirit Animal. I think somebody said it there, and I went sold for that. That does look like Ethan.
Oh, dude, if they come out with like Ace or Slipstream, pop that head on, you got Maverick. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Very interesting. That's good. Good thinking ahead for sure. G.I. Jetman in the house. He says, "What's up, Destro Designs? Matt, CG Horror, and chat. What is up, my brother? Good to see you in here." G.I. Jetman, can you? I feel like I asked you this last week. Can I find you anywhere on the social medias? Can we find you, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anything like that? I always like to make sure that I'm following everybody that likes to take the time to come through. Our brother Stu for Lunch says, at 42, they only get me for one. At 32, it would have been easily 2, maybe 3 of them for me. I feel like if it was $32, I probably would get two. I think because then you can maybe swap one of the heads, and now you have an actual action team. That's maybe you put a backpack. I don't know. Maybe there's something to be had there. You know what I mean? So, let's see. I added a comment to the stage. How do I? Okay, and that's how I do that. But I can. We're learning over here, y'all. Let's see. Here we go. So let me boop. So if I hit it, okay. So that's how we get that. Very good. G.I. Jetman in the house. What is up, brother? Wow. Here I am, Dr. Manhattan, using the easiest program in the world. It really is. It is. This is StreamYard. If anybody is interested in doing this, I think I've talked to a few other people, and I think the only reason people go to other things besides StreamYard is the cost. I think I pay $4.99 a month, and I'm about to upgrade so it'll record my stuff on here. Because it was as everybody knows, storage is an issue just about everywhere that you go. Okay, very cool. Moving on. So I mean, Action Man, I definitely dug it. Right now for me, I have to be a little bit picky. And if it's something that I absolutely have to have and I'm worried about not getting it, I definitely don't mind doing the pre-order. But this year is a little bit different in the sense that I'm in a home stretch of the remodel. The family vacation is coming up. It's about 5 weeks away. I'm trying my damnedest I might have little odds and ends upstairs in the remodel, but I gotta get everything back in order. So I'm dumping not just money in the materials. I'm getting help. What I thought, I made these plans with the idea that I still had a 25-year-old body. Right. I definitely work smarter, not harder, but there's some things that you just can't get around. And right now, being fucking 47 years old is not one of those things I can get around. So I did not pre-order one, but I am going to get one. Right. I'm just going to hopefully maybe I can catch a clearance. But, if it comes around that, I've got the 42 to spend on something like that. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to get it because I do like it. I do think it's good.
I would say I would never get it. Maybe it'll surprise like Budo when they announced him. I was like, I don't really want that. But it turned out to be like my favorite figure of that, like that whole kind of like time. Right.
Right.
So like he might surprise me. Right. Like I'm never going to say never, but as it sits right now.
Nice. That's what's up. Yeah, I can't say that I blame you. There's a handful of them that like did from this year. Like I'll be honest with you, I think Sundown is a cool looking figure.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really fit. So I'm passing for now. That's one of them I was really on the fence about and seeing what happens with it. But it is what it is. All right, let me take this.
I feel like Sundown's going to be one of those breakout figures that is just a great figure, like Spirit, Tiger Force, Outback.
Right. Okay.
It's just going to be one of. So I'm actually excited to get it because I like sometimes like. Do you like the Nightwolf or not Nightwolf, Wolf Spider?
Yes, love that one.
That's what 2 new characters they created, so I feel like it's going to be pretty good.
But no, I have faith in that because I think all new characters that they created look fantastic. We talked about them on Destro's My Spirit Animal. What are the other ones? There's Wolf Spider, the Sundown. Trench Viper is not necessarily a new. It's just a repaint, but it looks fucking amazing, right? Man, I feel like there's definitely another one that was new and is like crazy cool.
I can't remember the name of them. The ones that are like the cobras with the hallucination things, green.
Oh, the dire.
Oh yes, yep, absolutely.
I remember words sometimes.
Well, aren't the mole rats also? New
yes,
figures.
I almost want to say that they were something in the comics, but I'm not sure about that. I'm gonna go with that's. Is everybody watching? Oh, I better not show that. The Knicks can seal the deal on my on the. They're in San Antonio right now. They're down by 18 points, or I'm sorry, 8 points, but that don't matter. I stayed up the other night. I think I made a tweet about it. So I know there's not a lot of huge sports fans here per se, but I love the Knicks, and playoff basketball is fun. The Knicks were down 29 points at one point in the game, down 20 points at the beginning of the fourth quarter. The Knicks came back. They were up. They came all the way back and were up a point, and then they went down 2 points, and then they were up 3 points. Anyways, right at the last second, then there was like 4 seconds left. The Knicks inbounded the ball, took a shot, the ball bounced off the rim, and this dude OG came flying through and just whoop, tiny tip. It went in the basket, and I was like fist pumping myself to death at 12:30 at night. It took me forever to fall asleep. I was so like amped up from watching it happen, and like I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna fall asleep for hours, and I was correct. Cool Frenzy in the house. What's up, my brother? Glad you could make it. Always love to have you here. No, wait, wrong one. That's not Pop. That's Orskizio. Hey, there we go. Nice. Good to see you, brother. Glad you can make it. Did I do the wrong one again? No, there we go. All right. I gotta hide that one too. All right. Not so Dr. Manhattanish all of a sudden. Hit the wrong one, and where did it go? Okay, there we go. Back to it. Now, the next two things that came out this week, though, I was very excited about, and they definitely got the pre-order. One of those is the HAL with Grand Slam. So that was some shit. The more I keep looking at the pictures, dude, the HAL looks like it's big, right? Like if you know when you're looking at it, it's hard to, but that thing looks like it's this big. Right?
Unless they mainframed him, yeah, that's going to be really big.
Yeah, like man.
They shrunk him down, like.
Right. No, it was very big, very interesting, and they even touched on it in the live stream where they were like, we've got the blue lasers. Now that is something that I thought as a kid was always strange. You would think Cobra would have had the red lasers. Red looks more menacing. Blue definitely looks like something a good guy would have, right? It totally was backwards in the cartoon, 100%. So in the HAL, they've got the blue lasers, and they even touched on. They laid the groundwork for that with the with Sci-Fi's laser effects, having that blue color to them. So I can't wait. That's what I'm going to have Sci-Fi doing now. He's going to be palling around with Grand Slam or running that, right? I think Grand Slam's going to wind up with some gridiron weapons and have himself just hanging out, chilling, doing regular like military stuff. And I think I'm going to have Sci-Fi running that HAL. But the HAL looks fantastic. It looked like they've got a nice now I don't know if it's a sticker or if it's something like Matt has a Eufy maker now, which is amazing. Will be shown. There it is.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's something like that. So wait, Matt, does that make just stickers, or can you have something put directly onto?
Generally directly on it. The stickers is kind of an extra thing.
Oh, gotcha. So the Eufy maker is what puts it right on there with the ink and looks amazing, right? Yeah, very good. Actually, Matt has been so very kind. He reached out to me with
directly on this thing. Right, that's
nice.
Oh wow,
this is printed right on it.
So speak of the devil, Matt Matt reached out with a very generous idea, very thoughtful. So you're gonna see Destro Designs logo on one of those soon. So what we'll be doing is we'll be putting them out for sale, and 100. Matt is generous enough to donate his time to doing these for me, and then 100% of the money is going towards funding DestroDesigns.com. I think that there is going to be so much that we can do with that community as an extension of our community, and just a really cool place for everybody to put the finished photography. Hey, here's our pictures for the week. I was going to have CG have his own little 3D printing corner thing, and we'd have Matt from Mosmine, Chris from Sister Arsenal would drop in with some prints every once in a while to kind of pro tips and stuff like that. Make Mylar, committed to doing a kind of a pro tip for the photographers. I mean, at this point, and there's some other ones I can't really get into all the names, but at this point, I have the heaviest of hitters that are going to be contributing to this site, and I think it's just an amazing way to extend this community for sure. Like I've been thinking about it for a while, and I'm trying to put it in motion. I wish I could just hire somebody and be like, here you go, give me this, and have them make it and everything like that. But for now, I know CG had set up a Discord for us to share stuff as well. If you're interested in that, DM CG over on Twitter and or Instagram. He's over on Instagram too. CG Horon X is his at over on Insta. And Knicks are down by 7. That's all right. It doesn't matter. I think I'm just going to turn this off until the end of the game because it's largely just a distraction. Yeah, I still can't believe they came back and won that game the other night. How fucking crazy is that? So the Hal with Grand Slam. I felt like every time that I was looking at the promo shots, I found myself looking almost at the Hal, and then finally I looked over at Grand Slam, and he looks fantastic. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, I think it looked great. In the chat, Commander Unicron, he says, greetings all from Planet Cobra, the YouTube Pit channel, the Pit X community, and Energon Studios. What is up, my brother? Thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. Rock Lockdown is here. He says, I will definitely get the How. It's awesome they are getting into the oddball, smaller vehicles, etc. I agree, but it's also cool that they made that motherfucker beefy as shit. I think that's fantastic. Chris from Sister Arsenal is here. What is up, my brother? Chris, I finally got the lab, because when Chris was on the last time, we were talking about being able to put the pictures up and stuff. So, Chris, I finally got that under wraps, brother, and I would love for you to come back on the show, and we can go over some of your stuff too now that I have the official stuff. So, if you haven't been checking it out, Chris has been dropping an insane amount of awesome stuff on sis3darsenal.com. Make sure you're using promo code Destro Designs to get yourself 10% off. If you bought, I just had it out here the other day. If you bought any of his red medic cases, he now has inserts for those that look phenomenal. The longer one, it's it's got a med kit that you can pull out in the inside, just highly detailed, highly colored. It looks amazing. And that's one thing out of all these other things that he has been dropping consistently. I still am largely blown away by the where'd it go? This is I'm in love with this. This is going to be a huge part of when I finally get around to doing this shoot. I actually started building some of the stuff that I'm going to use for that Major Blood Lead in the 788 shoot. But yes, make sure you are over there. Yeah, landscape video and all, brother. That's what's up. Make sure you're going over, you're checking his stuff out. That's sis3darsenal.com, just like it says, and his name in the chat, and Destro Designs to get you 10% off over there. Also, if you're going to Joe Fest, our brother is going to be there with a table and the whole 9. So make sure you go by, you check out all the awesome stuff that he's going to have there in person, and himself. He's a great guy. So make sure you stop by, you say hello, and tell him Destro sent you. That's what's up. Yep. We got the landscape okay. So the How, Matt, what do you think, brother?
Yeah, you kind of hit it on the head there. I'm excited. It's the right, color for me. I too think it's going to be very large. I'm kind of trying to pull a picture up here on my end so I can look at it, but it's like you're somehow still getting the same mass as the M.A.G.S system, right?
Okay.
But it's a cannon, so or a laser cannon, I guess.
Right.
But
right.
I'm excited about it. It'll definitely be one I pick up. I'm wondering if the bottom connection, it looks like they're kind of reusing that. So it should. I'm concerned it's going to have that stupid hitch. Well, that's a little different. I'm looking at it here. No, it is different. Okay, yeah, so we're probably safe from that. We're probably upgraded from that. Good.
That's what's up. No, it's a good one. It's a good one for sure. I'm ecstatic about it. I love the way that they did it. And again, I feel like Grand Slam looks just absolutely phenomenal. So very, very good. CG, how you feeling about the HAL and Grand Slam?
Grand Slam looks great. The HAL looks awesome. The only thing that bothers me about the HAL is the knobby tires. I don't know why. It just looks off to me a little bit. I get it, but it just looks off.
Okay. I'm with you on that. I'm not gonna lie. I love the HAL. I'm definitely getting it. My initial reaction, though, and I say this because I feel like what happened with the Destro under the spoiler when I first saw it is happening again with the HAL. That I didn't have my glasses on. I'm not looking at there's detail in there that I can't see right now. When we were on, was it last week, I think, and CG, you at the last minute you pulled up, you found some pictures of the despoiler. Somebody had it in hand.
Yeah.
And when you showed me those pictures of like the area across the top, I immediately was like, oh, that looks so much better than I thought. Because it looked like it was just smooth plastic for the most part, and it's not. There's some details now. Of course, they're not painted, but you can clearly see that there's something that they're trying to get to show off there. So I don't know. My initial reaction was kind of like, I don't know if I like that as much as I want to. And then the more that I looked at it, I kind of did. But there was, like you said, there's definitely, my initial reaction at first was weird. So then knobby tires, huh? You know what? Now that I think about it, I think they do look a little weird, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're way knobbier than like the Vamps, right? So if the Vamp's pulling it, like the Vamp's going to look all slick compared to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm with you there. Our brother Rock Lockdown says, and it's got a seat, right? Yes. So
like asymmetrical, right? To one side of it.
It's on the side. Now, did the original one have the seat in the back? It was the seat coming off the back, because I thought it was right, like in line with it, right? I could have swore.
The original was off to the side too.
It was okay.
But I think it was further back though. Like it was to the side, but it was like almost like everything was in front of the gunner. I'm looking.
Wasn't it also like it sat lower as well?
It's definitely different, but I don't necessarily think it's in a horrible way. You know what I mean? It was something kind of struck me when they first showed it. When I had a hard time kind of seeing where the seat started and ended. And again, this is just, I have this issue where I like in the deepest parts of my mind, I refuse to accept that I'm old and need glasses, and so I just power through. And every time I see something, I blame it on the fuzzy screen or just not close enough or something like that. It's really just that I'm fucking old and need glasses.
So I'm looking at the original HAL on 3D Joe's, and the seat actually sat up higher than the gun.
Really?
So like, yeah, so it was pretty much
okay.
Maybe a little bit up from the rear, but it sat up top of everything.
Chris from Sister Austin says, "Damn you, CG! Now I can't unsee the tires."
Sorry, guys.
The seed has been planted in everybody's mind. They're all out there cursing the fucking nut tires.
I'm looking at it now, nitpicking it. Like the hitch is still concerning to me. It's the back support legs. I didn't realize that, but they'll come together and make the hitch, so it sits kind of weird. Nice.
That's what's up. It is. The tires.
I'm still gonna like it.
Yeah, no, it is a little tough, but man, Grand Slam though, I feel like, because when I was a kid, I loved that like padding shit. Don't know why. When I got I had Flash and Grand Slam, but when I had Flash, it was like I just used them as because everybody technically had the freaking lasers. Like the cartoon was full of everybody had the lasers, right? And Chris just hit something I'm about to say. He says, "Am I the only one who's tired of the retro helmets? They're small, look cheap, and they need to include an all helmet." I'm hoping, my brother, that was a OG 13 kind of thing where maybe once we get Flash, maybe Flash is the last one that gets that, right? Because he had the same stupid fucking one. I agree. I think that they're brutal. 100%. My brother Ellis is here. Dreadnought E, what's going on, my dude? That's a good.
As for the knobby tires, I'm sure somebody's gonna come up with a 3D print design that you can print them and have like the original tire again. In fact, it looks like the ASP tires would be a perfect replacement.
Nice. Okay.
To get close to the original.
I'm betting
a lot of people didn't like them Ostriker tires.
Shipment, people will have gridiron tires slapped on there somehow.
Right.
You know,
yeah, big ass tires.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, sure it would look good as long as it doesn't jack it up above like the so the vehicle is up like this. But yeah, fuck it. I mean, yeah, a lot of people really disliked the Ostriker tires, and
no, that's a good point. So Chris was talking about how like those tires would look better on the Ferret, and 100%.
Yeah. Okay. All right, there we go. Yeah, that makes sense. I like it. Very true. But yeah, so so what I've been doing is making 2 separate pre-orders. And then if like it happens to sell out and and I know this is part of the problem with selling out is when if I'm doing it, everybody's doing it, as we get closer, if somebody was like, damn it, I missed this pre-order and it's sold out, I could be like, okay, here you go. But right now, instead of actually just buying them both, I made it in separate orders because if nobody is interested, then I can only get one of them right now. You know what I mean? It is going to look good though. I have the Armadillo from CG. I got a random Skyhawk from that local guy I bought stuff from. The Dragonfly, the Ostriker, the Vamp, and it's a formidable, Joe setup. You know what I mean? Plus, not to mention the Joe Outpost, the Joe Bar, and the ARC cannon. Oh, 2 missile systems and a mountain cannon that CG sent. So this will go good with the rest of the stuff I have, but I'm just going for the one. I think that's going to be it for me now. Chris says the Cobra Commander is back up on Pulse. They are. Does anybody feel like maybe they put it out there for that lower price point at $52.99 or whatever it was. And then there's only a certain amount of those. And then they gauge the FOMO that they keep creating. And we're like, okay, now here, you can buy it for $20 fucking more. Like again, I try not to put too much thought or feelings into stuff like this because I don't run the $1 billion company. I have no idea what it's like to run a $1 billion company. But when I see stuff like that, or like, the Duke, everybody's cancels, their orders get canceled. And then we all know that they're going to the Duke is going to show up on store shelves everywhere. And then they create, so it's almost like they do this. They make it so it's like this frenzy. People are like, oh my God, it's sold out. We can't get it. And then when they do re-release it, what happens is people, and I'm part of this too, like they're like, oh, this was just hard to get. I'm going to buy 3 of these and sell one. You know what I mean? And that's me not even trying to make money. There's people out there that are like, oh yeah, I'll buy 4 of these and I'll sell them on eBay for $100 a piece. So I can't help but always have this feeling of like this engineered FOMO. It really makes me crazy. But
you're probably not wrong.
No, I mean, I don't know.
It's pretty obvious too that employment at Hasbro is shuffling around, right? Because we know the 2 big ones, but there's probably some guy that was like, you know what, let's cash in on this, and he's just now in a position where they can do that.
Well, brother and friend of the show, R.A. Rain, brought up a point too that a lot of people didn't know because it wasn't right there, but the key account manager that worked for Hasbro, whose key account was Walmart, he walked after 20 years, like right before Lenny did. So, and again, might have absolutely nothing to do with it. I could just be fucking just saying that for saying that. But sometimes you can't help but go, why does this smell the same as all these other things? So I don't know, man. I'm very hopeful for the line. They did flat out tell us that they basically said in that one stream, I think, where they were like, yeah, Lenny and Tony had their hands on stuff all the way through 2027 or almost into 2028, I think is what he said. So we're going to get what we're going to get, and that's going to be that. I hope that they make a run. I hope. I mean, here's a question for you guys. Would you prefer, now we know now officially there is no HasLab for this year. I'm thinking that a part of this is that they're going to release a bunch of the smaller vehicles, right? The Devilfish, the Fang, maybe like the bomb disposal unit, just the ones that were like they were barely more expensive than a figure when we were kids, right? They were like $4.99, $5.99 at the most. And those were that was my jam. Those are the vehicles that I could afford to get. Again, my mother tried real hard and bought me everything that I think I wanted, but there was no Night Ravens in that house, at least not until I was old enough to get shit from the garage. But anyway, what would you guys, if we had to step back and make a choice, would you rather get a HasLab for in a calendar year, or would you rather them put the focus on trying to get our money by releasing 5 or 6 smaller vehicles, right? Now, because if you think about it, if you release 5 vehicles over the course of the year, I'm probably more likely to buy those, at say you get 6. So every other month they're dropping a vehicle that's going to be $100. I'm probably going to buy all of them, right? Especially if brother Mark Fogarty from Destro is my spirit animal brought it up last show. Get rid of the drivers. Like the biggest culprit is the ferret driver. Like it looks like an X Games BMX racer. Like don't want it really. Now the claw pilot is fantastic. And maybe, I could put her in any vehicle and that's one of my favorite figures from 2025. Really, really dope. But I guess that's a 2-part question. Would you prefer to have $100 vehicle come in at $69.99 and have no thing, or do you like do you like the pilots, as well as how would you rather Hasbro do a HasLab or come out with like 5 or 6 smaller vehicles on top of whatever else they're doing? Guess first. So Matt, I will send it to you, my brother.
Okay. So I know we've talked before, like, I'm not a fan of the whole structure of the HasLab thing. Yes. Like, I think it's backwards. Like, I think you should have like a basic hits and then have your fancy one that is, the limited numbers that you got to fundraise for or whatever.
Sure.
All the extra like tiers and all that stuff, but just give us a basic hiss. And then, so I prefer to have, $100 vehicle every month than a HasLab. I'm not sad there's no HasLab. I don't have any of the HasLabs for the same reason, right? I probably should. There's some I'd want, but even if you could somehow come like sub 100, like a $70 vehicle, right? Yeah. Ditch the driver, ditch all the extras. There's plenty of people that provide extras. Hasbro could make extras packs, right? But just provide the vehicle. Like you're talking about the fort mods too, right? Like just the fort mod, so you can have 2 or 3 of them together, right? You drop the figure out of it, it now becomes very inexpensive, and they could make their money, right?
Right.
And you get kind of options. And if you're dropping, a new vehicle every month, you're not going to get everybody excited about that same vehicle, but you're going to get more people with vehicles that they're excited about, right? We saw with the Snowcat, there were a lot of people that were upset with that choice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people just, for whatever reason, right?
I feel like the international buyers on that is because it didn't look like it was going to fund, and then when they dropped those buyers they dropped those numbers, and then it looked like you were like, oh, this is going to fund, and it's probably going to get all tiers. That's not. I didn't order until then. You know what I mean? Like I was kind of like, I think I'm going to back this, but I didn't want to get it just on that. So even me, in the frenzy of buying, I'm still mad as hell. I ordered 2 and they canceled one of my orders. I'm so fucking mad.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I called. Well, the worst part is I didn't even see it at first. It was, say if I ordered it on this day, it was like 3 weeks later. 3 weeks later they canceled it, and I didn't know. And then maybe 2 weeks after they actually canceled it, because I had mentioned I think I was going to try to work something out with Stevie Z to put it in his hands. And I remember I went back and looked, and it said canceled, and I was like, I thought maybe I was looking at something wrong. I scrolled back over, and then I called and was like, dude, what's going on here? And the guy couldn't even tell me why it was canceled. He's just like, it is. And I was like, well, can you fucking put it back? And he was like, no, I can't do that. And I was rather upset. Because, I mean, listen, I wish I could have bought fucking 4 of them, to be honest with you. And I say that only because the resale market on that, you give one to the Joe Bros at cost, maybe even have some kind of a raffle for it. But then, this is the least amount of HasLabs made, so the aftermarket's going to be more because there's less of them to go around, But anyways, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail you there, brother.
No, it's, and I mean that's also saying something too, because I make vehicles. Like, do I want more competition, right? But
sure, good call.
The more the merrier, really, with it. Like it's, and that's kind of why I don't make like exact replicas of GI Joe vehicles. I try to make my own stuff. I mean, like my boat is pretty much a Night Landing, right? But like
right.
They're all the same thing. But like I kind of think about these guys that they do like the Asp is awesome, but the guy that modeled that, I think it was Mark II. I think he does those, right? Like all of his stuff is direct, very awesome 1-to-1 copies of the classic GI Joe stuff. But what happens when Hasbro starts cranking all this out? That's I guess you could still, if you want 20 of them, it's better to get the model and print it yourself, right?
Sure.
So there's still something there, but I don't know. I would just rather see them come out with the little stuff, fill the shelves with that, and you can decide what you want.
Right. That's what's up. And oh God, I asked 2 questions and I can't even remember the other question by myself. One was HasLab or 6 vehicles, and what was it?
It was about like the figures that came with it, like because you were talking about like a figureless ferret. Because
right. Yes,
and I think Chris made a comment where he was talking about like he just wants the figures, and I kind of agree with that. Like I want a Rattler because I want that Baroness pilot, right? Like the Rattler would be cool, but that's the figure I want. But that's the only way I could get it.
I didn't think in my head. I kept saying when people are talking about how good it was, you see the pictures, and I'm like, yeah, it looks fine. Well, I got it, and it looks absolutely insane. Shout out to Dan Saucedo, putting me in the driver's seat of these fucking HasLabs. Yeah, I went from having just a Hiss to having a Rattler and a Dragonfly, and damn near all the figures for incredibly low amounts of money, buying them, shipping them up to me, and everything. Fucking. If I think he just dropped. I think he said he's just dropped or is dropping another video. So if you didn't know, Dan Salcedo, Curator Dan Collects. That's his channel here on YouTube. If you didn't know, he had compiled stuff for the course of like 5 fucking years. He had been buying classified, buying Transformers, buying like ramen tanks and all kinds of shit, literally all in the box for that whole time, because a big move was always imminent. So he didn't want to open anything until he got to where his forever home. And just earlier is it this year or no? They were there for Christmas. So sometime towards the end of last year, he moved down to Florida. He set up shop, and then finally, I remember he was like, "Oh, I want to do this and do that and get all this ready before I start." I was like, "You're ready now. Look at those shelves. Just fucking set up the camera and let's go." And he took that advice and ran with it. And he's got a very unique channel in a sense that it's very super professional in the way that he presents it, but you're now watching a guy enjoy figures that were released 5 years ago, right? So figures that you already done, opened, and it's like a reimagining of the joy of getting those figures, because he's like loves it like we do. So yeah, and again, he's got Transformers, Marvel Legends, all kinds of shit. So Curator Dan Collects, make sure you're checking him out. Sorry, brother, I did it to you again.
Fine.
So your answer was more or less like no to the figures, I think.
Bring the figures. I'm sorry, figures by themselves. I'd rather see figures by themselves. So you could say like, here is a pilot figure, here is a aircraft. If you want them both, buy them both. I'm fine with that.
Right. And they can even do something like imagine how cool this would be. You can buy them separately, but if you go to the website and you buy them both at the same time, you get 10% off or something. You know what I mean? Like incentivize them to buy it, right? Offer them separately and then incentivize people to buy them at the same time. I don't know. It seems like a crazy thing for sure. Rock Lockdown says battle stations would be great. Look, all those little play sets, dude. I mean, personally, I would just rather get something from you, Matt. I mean, because that shit's for real. But don't get me wrong, especially like there's plenty to be had with that. But like the one thing I feel like they could make, and not to say that I'd want to jump all over it, but I think it would sell is like I can't remember which one it was with the brick wall that had the little hole in the wall, and then it was like it was the machine gun nest or something like that, right? I don't remember exactly what it was, but that shit, I don't know, man. I think like stuff like that would be awesome. And I say that, but let's see what the bivouac looks like. If they absolutely crush the bivouac, then who knows? Maybe that's it. Yep, there it is. G.I. Dave in the house. Thank you. Mortar defense. So I don't know. I feel like if they can get that right and make that look cool. I mean, what had me? I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching the reveal stream of the HasLab, 100% when they said the bivouac, that made me stupid excited, right? I was like, oh my god, and it's gonna fold down into the back of the whoa, what? So I definitely thought that was cool.
Oh, gone.
Oh,
it's that ghost came back and got him.
I thought I got kicked there for a second.
No, yeah, you got real.
Sorry. I don't know what I must have fingered something, but that was definitely my fault. All good.
Oh. That's a family show.
Out of context, right?
right. Oh, we just got shut down. Nice. Chris from CS3 Arsenal says, I was. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. I was the opposite, especially that it came with the snowcat. So you didn't like the bivouac? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I thought it was cool. The inner child in me was like, hell. I thought it was pretty nifty. But there's so much stuff that I see that I could be like, there's so much stuff that I could see that I think it would be better if you guys made it, right? Like the ramp rats, right? I finally got a set of those on the way. I had to choose. I was like, do I want to keep the Zanya or do I want to get the ramp rats? And I'm returning the Zanya and getting the ramp rats. But anyways, the ramp rats come with that big blue box, right? Talk about having spies everywhere. I'm pretty sure Hasbro totally ganked that from our brother Chris down there and made themselves like that, and what infuriated me about that box was the ones that Chris make are better, but in that very last live stream when they revealed those, they were talking about how he was like, oh yeah, but you can take this little cable and hook it up to the swamp skier, like we're crossing the worlds. I was like, well, why would you put it all together? Why wouldn't the swamp skier have the fucking thing in there? Make it green so you could put the pieces of the swamp skier in there. This is fucking crazy. Now that could just be the creative guys finding a way to get around the bean counters and making it happen. That could be just one of those things. But yeah, I don't know. There's stuff like that. When I see that kind of stuff, and I know that you guys can make it better, that does make me crazy. Commander Unicron is in on this. Bivouac is a must. No, it's coming. I believe B-Max said I did not rage when I fingered the wrong thing. B-Max said that he will have an unboxing at the SDCC. So it's escaping me off the top of my head. Thanks for coming by. Call sign Smash. Really appreciate you swinging through. Have a good night, my dude. Thanks again. Yeah. He said that we'll have an unboxing, so that's we'll get to see it. And I feel like that Rattler started shipping like Jesus, July, like right around now. We were really close. Now I don't know if because I feel like we were getting stuff more.
I got mine in June.
Fuck. Where's the snowcat? I want my snowcat. I have not had the pleasure of waiting for one from Pulse. So when I started collecting, I wrote a whole article on Serpentor's Lair about going and getting the hiss, right? I was pulled over on the highway at a rest area. I was opening the whole thing. I couldn't fucking stop, legitimately. I must have looked like a crazy person. If you haven't heard the story, I'll just tell it quickly. I didn't want to spend the money. Well, first of all, I had this, I think it was in April, May, right around this time last year. I had finished the job way ahead of schedule and got a big, it was part of the contract was if I had finished by a ridiculous date, I get this ridiculous amount of money. And I think everybody thought it wasn't possible. And I did it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm getting, I think I didn't even know your stuff existed yet, Matt. And I think I maybe had got some stuff from Chris at that point, but I wound up getting a couple drones from Gridiron. And then when they came, I remember being like, fuck, I thought this was filling the hole. Like in my collecting needs, I thought that these Gridiron things were going to be it, and it wasn't it. It was, I was like, I have to get that hiss. I really, really have to get the hiss. The Dragonfly always looked cool, but and I enjoyed it, but I was like, that hiss, I gotta have that hiss. I didn't want to spend the money on eBay, send somebody $450 or whatever, and found a guy locally. He wanted $550, I think, and I said, can we do $450? And then he was like, yeah, that's a big, I was like, all right, $475. That's literally the most I can give you. And I'll drive to you to pick it up. You don't have to ship it. And he was like, all right, you know what? So, and so I drove out there to get it. Great guy. He's a flipper. He definitely had 2 Dragonflies with him too. I just couldn't afford to buy them both. I was like, yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. Anyways, I took the hiss and like, I was like, I could feel it burning a hole in the back of my head. I was like, I have to open this. I have to see. Part of the thing was, and I asked him, I was like, okay, so it's complete, all tiers. It's got all the figures. And he was like, I think there's only one figure. It's the driver. And he sent me the Hasbro promo picture, which from the screen is just shows the hiss and the driver. None of the missiles, like none of the extra stuff. That was the base offering. And, I was like, well, it's not open, right? He's like, it's not open. And I was like, never mind. Cause I just didn't think he knew what he had. And he didn't, because I pull over in the rest area. I took it out of the shipper. I lifted up I opened it from the side actually. And you could see the 3 different, I pulled the skinny one out. I opened it up. All the figures were there, put that down. And then I opened up the one that had the base, the bulk of the body, dude. And I just was like, oh my God, it's just fucking cooler than I thought it was going to be. And I came home and I opened it in the shop. And I immediately took it all out of the package and put it together. I already had the fire team. I already had the missile system. I set it all up. And even from that moment on, it's my favorite thing from Classified is the hiss as a whole, right? Because the hiss is really awesome. But when you add the fire team and the missile system and you make it like, you know, they're like, they could have done something similar with the Dragonfly, with the Rattler, you know, and they didn't. Like even if the Rattler came, you know, well, I guess they're doing it with the Ramp Rats, but like, you know, they're adding the 788 stuff. So, anyways, I cannot wait to get it to like, you know, get the 788 Trouble Bubble, and then we're hoping the Claw is going to be the same thing. So that's what's up there. CG, how do you feel about the pilots? Do you think it would be better if, you know, things like the Claw or the Trouble Bubble came with no figure and you could buy it separately, or fuck it, just give it all to us at once?
I prefer if it didn't come with a figure when we were kids, it shouldn't come with a figure now.
Boom.
You know,
Boom.
if for some, you know, if they put something out, like say they would put out a Conquest X30, it should come with Slipstream.
Okay. Yep.
But, you know, if they bring out the Fang, that didn't have pilot. Like, well, in '83, it didn't have a pilot. So that's my opinion on it. I do like the idea though of, like, I would love to have a shit ton of Strato Vipers on the shelf. Like, obviously, I'm not going to buy a whole bunch of Night Ravens that are 5.5 feet long.
Right.
So it would be, yeah. So I could get into that too. Maybe they do something a little different. Like if they would bring something out like a Night Raven, and you get like 3 Strato Vipers for it. You know, maybe they'd release a Strato Viper just slightly different, like a retro version of him or something like that.
Okay.
For the people who don't want to buy it.
So when I backed out of the stream to the studio, it wiped all the images I loaded, but I got them popping back up now. So I'm really facing adversity and persevering through the other side with the tech trying to beset me. So all right, that's a great answer, brother. I think that's if it came with a figure when we were kids, give us that figure, and if it didn't, fucking don't give us anything. I love that answer. Now about a HasLab. So think about like last year we got the Rattler. Or I'm sorry, yeah, the Rattler showed up, and then think of all the vehicles we still got in 2025. But imagine if we got all those little vehicles, but they took away the Rattler and gave us like 4, 5, 6 of the smaller vehicles. What would you prefer, the HasLab, or would you prefer to have, a bunch more little vehicles?
Well, if it was the Rattler, I'd sooner have the Rattler. That's one of my all-time favorite vehicles.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
For this year, I'm totally fine with no HasLab. I prefer like smaller vehicles. Like I want the water moccasin. I want a thunder machine. I supposedly there's a mystery one that's going to be revealed here, I guess, in the next couple weeks. We do need vehicles. I don't have to want to 3D print every freaking vehicle that I want.
Right. Just because you can doesn't mean you want to.
Right.
No, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I mean, especially like the Fang and the Devilfish, they stick out as like such obvious choices, Like I think when you think about like the Hydro Sled, I think you could do that, and if the price was right, I would love it. But the Devilfish, I mean, the Fang is a quintessential Cobra vehicle. Like from start to finish, they flew those fuckers. I don't know. I feel like that should be. I feel like that should have been made. The Devilfish is also very, I don't know. I feel like that those are vehicles, or like, what was it? The VTOL, which I think, have they announced that?
Why has this not been made by Hasbro yet?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Exactly. I have no freaking idea why they wouldn't.
I do have for the Skyhawk. I have that one that third party company. I can't think of who they are right now.
Part of me wonders if they've done it so much better than what they were going to do, because that's the only place I know of that Hasbro tried to like take legal action against to stop.
Yeah, because they don't touch Ace at all.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, they tried to that one, so they did that.
And they've come out
changes.
with a thing, and they did that weird thing with the wings, but you can just omit that part and put it the way it's supposed to be, and it still works, right?
Right.
Same thing with the Fang, they put a canopy on it, but you can just take it off, and it looks like a Fang. So part of me wonders if they're like they did it better, so we can't. I don't know. I don't know if it would work.
Yeah, because that Skyhawk is. It lights up.
Mm-hmm.
It has running lights on the wings. It's a decent vehicle for the price.
Their Striker has like a working words again leaving me, like the transmission underneath it, like it all like works on it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. I love it. Yeah, that one is that's a head scratcher. That's also a quintessential Joe vehicle that I feel like they could have pumped that out somewhere along the way. So yeah, well, what are you gonna do? And now let's get, last but not least, before we move on to start showing some of these pictures, is the Vamp Mark II. Gorgeous, right? I mean, I definitely dig it. And I think it looks good. The what do you call it? The reuse of the Snowcat missile system before we even got the Snowcat is crazy work, but it whatever makes it happen. I thought Clutch looked good. I thought the color looked good. I just, man, I don't know. I got really no complaints.
We know it's going to work.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You've already done it twice. It's just another color with something different on the back. Now the connection for that missile system on the back, I'm hoping they've kind of maybe added something else, because I know that mine my original vamp, like the double guns before I gridironed it out, right? Like would just kind of self
Right.
eject, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. That would be my only thing is like let's fix it, but realistically, I'm probably gonna mess with it anyways. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. And I think it's cool that they do give us the old what do you call it, the steel core troop builder helmet, so if you get a few, you can have more than one guy driving it, or if you just want to make it look like some average Joe is driving Duke like across the bat, to the base or whatever, so you can do shit like that too, so that's good. It What I like about it is I feel like I'm going to enjoy it in the way that now, if you put the Vamp and the Stinger next to each other, the Vamp looks so much better. Now, I love the Stinger. It's a cool ass vehicle. I think it looks how it should look. You put some gridiron stuff in there, it's definitely better. But there's so much more depth and detail to the Vamp that when I look at the Stinger, it's a little lackluster. So I feel like the Vamp Mark II is going to have those same heavy duty details. That's just going to make it look great. And we're getting a whole bunch of desert stuff. Snake Eyes hanging off the back of that. With his Uzi, I think, and then whatever else we're getting. I think on the reveals with Mark, it said that we were getting a desert 3-pack. An Arctic 3-pack, but then also getting a desert 3-pack too. So, give us all those vehicles and just make it right. So that's exciting.
So I wonder with the Mark II, is it going to be like the original Vamp where you need to get it, or you're going to be on eBay paying a lot of money, or is it going to be like the Stinger where you're going to be grabbing, $50, $70 ones on Christmas specials?
I mean, I would hope and pray that it's the latter. Like, I hope and pray that they've learned that kind of a lesson from the way that the first Vamp went. Like, we've been like outside the Hasbro with pitchforks talking about, why can't you fuckers, you got us out here. I mean, because seriously, think of how many people had to pay $200+ to get that. Like, what? Yeah. That seems crazy. How few did you make? You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. And maybe they did already learn that lesson with the Stinger, right? The Stinger came out after. So maybe, and those are plenty. So maybe this Vamp winds up being the same thing. But hey, they keep saying they're going to release the Vamp Mark I. That's got a plan for something. You know what I mean? Martian Dude is here. What's up, my brother? I'm glad you can make it. Also looks like they're talking about the Mamba in the chat. Listen, that would be one of my heavy love to get for a HasLab. That's HasLab size. But dude, if you think of how big the Rattler is, the Mamba would probably be a couple inches longer and maybe not as wide with the wingspan. So I don't know, maybe that's not as ridiculous as I'm thinking initially, but dude, how fucking insane would that be? You know what I mean? Holy hell. How about you, CG? How you feeling about the Vamp?
Good. I bought 2 of them, just because I was only able to get one Mark I, and I got 3 Stingers, so I thought 2 would be a nice start. And I'm hoping they have these sales down the road where I can score one for like $50.
Right.
They just got to be consistent with what they're putting out. Like, stop shortchanging us. It's not helping anything. It's pissing people off.
Right. Well, it's the whole thing. It's the it's like the comparison thing. So, 2025, I will always say was just a year that had an absolutely insane, incredible amount of awesome figures, right? Like, everything that came out, I loved it. But, as I further my collecting abilities or not abilities, but like my span of collection. Like, I go on like Figure Fight Club, and like those guys, they do collect G.I. Joe, but they collect all the different things, right? There's a lot of other toys out there. And when you start looking at other toy lines, you can't help but wind up becoming like Valaverse, for instance. Big bad toy store with the Delta Reds. When I'm looking at those figures, and then I'm looking at Hasbro figures, I can't help but be like, oh, one of these is markedly better than the other, right? those Monster Force Delta Red figures are fucking, for that price too. That's not that bad. It's definitely more like, again, it's just, I mean, everything changed for me when it was, I had the Delta Red in one hand, that Special Forces in the other, and the Special Forces was like $3 more, and I was like, this is insane. This is not even like funny. Like, what the, one is so much better than the other. So also just looking at other lines like Valaverse, the quality of those figures, the innovation, the stuff that's coming out of over there, it's, you can't help but start to look a little more critically at at the Hasbro stuff. But yeah, that's the, I think there's the price is what now drives people's eye to look at that in a different way. When, I mean, the Destro, the spoiler at 110, and then you look at the prices of all these other things that have been coming out around now. Like you said, it just, I don't know, doesn't add up. But I still like can't help but wonder if there was a hard conversation in the boardroom after, if a lot of people like just didn't order the spoiler because they were like, I'm not paying that. You know what I mean? And because then we wind up with the Trouble Bubble, which if you look, it's 2 vehicles, 2 figures, accessories, and that is the same price as the Destro and the Despoiler. Seems a little weird.
The only difference there is they already had those molds.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. That's true.
There has to be some recoup with the Despoiler.
So I think
new stuff on Destro too, right?
For sure. And I think this is maybe where it comes into, if you listen to Bobby Valla talk about that specific thing, and basically what he said is, you have to find the balance in the sense that when you make things that are reusing the mold, then you're making extra money by keeping your price the same, but you're still making money. And then, then when you have to make a new mold, you don't raise the price, you take the hit on that, and then you now have the molds to make up that money every other time that you use it. I'm not quoting him. He said it a little differently, but that was the gist of it. And then now when you start to learn more about how, like, Dreadnought E. Ellis had a picture. He took his new Zartan with the drawn bow. He added some red to it, and he's like, doesn't this look so much better? And I had to agree. And now when you start figuring like that, sometimes there's things that they could add for fucking pennies, like extra hands and shit like that, and they just don't. That's not, I guess that's really getting into the weeds of complaining about it. But those things are there, and if they continue to ratchet up the prices on things, then those are the things that collectors are going to start saying, like, you know what? I don't think I want to collect this anymore. You're at the tail end of, coming out with what, figures that most people kind of want, right? So I don't know. I just hope that they keep making stuff in the way and at the quality that they have been, and they don't just keep slowly ratcheting up the price on us to the point that people,
it makes me wonder what vehicle would it be and what would it look like when they reuse the despoiler mold for a G.I. Joe vehicle. Like, what is that? What's the spin on that?
Right.
I kind of want to see it just to see it.
Yeah, agreed. That would be very interesting. Big Red checking out. Have a good night, my brother. Thank you for coming. I hope you feel better when you wake up, my dude. Always appreciate you swinging through. Yeah, I agree, Matt. I agree. So, yeah, everybody's loving the Mark II. Can't say that I complain. Man, I was just looking at a comment. I'm trying to get back to it. Popcorn Frenzy says I did it again. I lost it again. Popcorn Frenzy was saying something about the Vamp Mark II, and I lost his comment. Noga Hides Hog Fat, welcome in. Glad you could make it. Very interesting name. I always dig good names like that, and that one right there I think is a keeper. So, there it is. Popcorn Frenzy says the Vamp 2 is Pulse exclusive. Stinger was available on Amazon in many places. Okay. I didn't know that.
I think that's what I was asking about. Do you need to hop on it like the original Vamp, or is it going to be everywhere with the Stinger? And pretty much probably just answered it right there.
Okay.
Well, maybe they'll overproduce and we'll get it at Ross and Ollie's.
I've never gotten lucky on that, man. Like, the only thing you're going to find there is like a disease for me. Like, there's never anything at our Ross.
Yeah, there's none at mine either.
I have an Ollie's, and I have struck out every single time. Well, I've gotten the last 2 times I went, they had a ton of Marvel Legends and some other stuff. Like I got Detective Jimmy Woo. I think he's from the WandaVision show, but it's a perfect civilian, kind of thing. And I'm always, if I can go in and get a figure like that for $3.99, then that is definitely a good score for, stuff like that. But like, man, you gotta hook us up. So we are gonna get to the main event. So let me just double check. This week in Hearthstone. What's up, my brother? Glad you could make it. Greatly appreciate it. So Matt from Mo's Mind was so nice to send me some pictures of his new stuff from the M.A.G.S line. That's Mo's Armament and Gear Systems. As we all know, the very first was the slings, which I actually don't have that picture loaded up. I got to do a different one. Well, we showed that one earlier, and yeah. So the slings are an amazing addition to any collection, but it also fills a hole that we had desperately, right? I have always felt like, there's so many photos that I want to do that would make so much sense, like slinging an unsilenced primary weapon, so a figure can then have his silenced secondary and a knife. Just looks so real life fucking awesome, or like I have the scene where I'm gonna set those things up and put the trench vipers, like it's like an in and out of a Cobra base, and I want the trench viper to like still have his shield on, but then I want him holding like a tablet, wink wink, or a like his even a clipboard, something along those lines, like something like that is just checking him in, but he's got his primary is slung. He's still got his shield up. He's ready to go. So I feel like there's a world for this kind of stuff, and our brother is tapping into it. So again, that's Mo's Armament and Gear Systems, which I absolutely love. But we are going to get to the very first item, and let me make sure I got all the right shots here.
While you're doing that, just to caveat this, like I'm not giving up the vehicle stuff.
Yes.
Like, this is not replacing that. This is in addition to. I'm just kind of focused on it right now because I just got a bunch of equipment that I've been learning how to use to make this stuff. So I got to like produce something with it, right?
Very good. Very good. Absolutely. So here is, hold on. Oh, man. I wish I could see the preview a little bit better than I'm pulling from the, nope, not that one. Let's try that one. All right. I think I got a different one. All right. So here we go. First things first. Coming in new is bang. Binoculars.
Yep.
So very, very cool. I don't know about anybody else, but I have instantly got, like, I recognize that fucking brand, right? It's like the way that it looks on the top, it looks official, like super, super official. What, how did you come up with the idea to do some binoculars?
I hate the ones that come with Duke, those like square, like periscope kind of looking things, right? Yep. They're like super tiny too. Like his hand doesn't even hold them right. And then the strap is stiff. So it's like a certain mold that they have on. So the strap on this is actually a piece of cordage. So that does bend, it does lay. I've got it in my hand right here. The model of it, those are, like if you Google military binoculars, like that's the most common form that comes up. Okay. Right now they're just black. I'm kind of experimenting with ways to make the resin the colors I want, but still keep it like a stable color, like it's not going to change. So there's a little testing on that. But so right now just black, but at some point we're going to have an army green. We're going to have like a 788 red housing, but for at least for right now, everything's going to be the standard black. The lenses, you can also get a red one. So there's blue and there's red. I think I sent some other pictures. I don't know if you got those or not.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking because I thought, let's see. Okay, so there is a set with the red lenses, but let's see. We got, there's the red lenses there.
So we got my my makeshift night force out back there. He's got the red lenses doing some night ops. Now, They are printed. The lenses are a PETG filament that's translucent. So the brightness of that red only happens when you have light hitting it, right? So, I don't want people to think that it's just sitting there glowing when you buy it. The
Right.
intensity of color, you have to hit it with light. Otherwise, it's just kind of a flat red lens, but I can't really take a picture of that because the camera is going to pick up on the light reflection.
Dude, that figure looks amazing. So here he is with Duke. Very good, very good.
It's his hand, the strap actually bends. It's not that rectangular piece of whatever they give you.
Yeah, no kidding. That's what separates it from, the like bull crap is when you have something that looks so that looks so, like natural when it sits on somebody's let's see, is this one? There we go. There's another one, that Night Viper looking awesome. Very, very cool. Absolutely love it. Let me get this one out. Move from the studio. I think there was one. Oops. That's not the one.
So if you do decide to pick these up, the strap, just because it's cordage, it's like tightly woven cordage, it might, when you go to put it over their neck and you hold up their hand, it might have a tendency to like stick straight like out. If you just wet the cordage, you can kind of mold it and shape it to where you want it to stay for like a picture, so it looks a little more realistic.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So let's see here. So yeah, binoculars I think is great. That's going to crush for toy photography. I absolutely love it. I'm sorry. Did you say the price on these?
So these are going to be $7.99. It's not including tax and shipping. Just start off with there. I'm trying to keep these as low as I can because I want you guys to get them, right? Like I want you to have them. So it's really just kind of, it's because it's on Etsy, and we're gonna work on that. Etsy has a lot of tiny fees that makes things cost more than they really need to. And they've also kind of started getting kind of like YouTube, where they have algorithms and AI go through and look at things and flag things that aren't. So everything that's come out right now is not an actual blaster of any type. I would like to start doing those, but I think I might have to follow kind of Chris's example there and start a website and just house those there, because Chris included, I've heard multiple makers talk about how their little tiny toy whatever gets flagged by Etsy, shop comes down, like, and there's no possible way it could be real. Like I think Chris was telling me, like, he was like doing like them, we'll call them party favors, right? Things that go pop, and he wouldn't mine would sell a real one for like $10, right? Like it's, even if
for sure. Great. So keep those in mind, y'all. Watch out for them popping up in the shop. We're gonna move to the next item for reveal.
And saying that, like, pretty much when we're done here, I'm just gonna make them live.
So okay. All right.
They're all ready to go. You just gotta click the button.
That's what's up. So now, moving in, we've got, I think these are gonna be killer. Boom! Some tablets in the house.
Oh, nice.
This is gonna be a 3-pack, so you get all 3 versions in one. And that'll be, I don't remember what it was.
3 for $11.99. $11.99.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, if you ask me, I think that's a fucking deal, like legit deal. Because if you look at what we have here, these really are fantastic. So if you look at the outer edge, it's got that, looks like a military grade, like something that's going to protect it. And then, of course, now because our brother has the Eufy maker, he's got these wonderful, wonderful colors and prints. So the screens themselves look amazing. And if you look at all the detail on the back, that is just crazy town. So if you're able to zoom in on your YouTube,
that too, so that's something else the Eufy maker does, where it's printing with resin that's colored. It's CMYK, but instead of ink, it's resin. And there's a clear coat that goes over the top of it, and so you can add some height to that. So the back of that and the front of that, it's not just flat. Like there's some texture to it too.
Wow, that's
so,
crazy.
Again, I'm trying to make it as much value as possible, so I can batch print these. These are resin printed. So I'm starting to add resin. If you don't know the difference there, that's probably a whole other show we can go into on that, right?
Right.
It allows me to do batch printing. which keeps the cost down. And in the Eufy Maker, I can go back in and I can change the colors that way, right? So it's all the same blank, but I put a different screen on it, essentially.
Nice. Look at that. Look at that scaling. Wow. That is, dude, I think the price is so insanely awesome. Yeah. This Week in Hearthstone says 3 for $12 is so worth it. I think it's I think it's an amazing price. And it looks so good in his hand. Here we got another one. Boom. Over his shoulder. That looks fucking sweet. Sweet Titch Jackson. Now hold on. I think I got more. I think there's more of the tablet. You definitely sent me more tablet photos, right?
It was a front and back and just kind of over his shoulder and in his hand. I think that may have been it for the tablet.
Oh, maybe that was it. Nope. Okay. No. Yeah, right. Hold on. I got to find it. This is a good one. I knew there was another one. Hold on. Let me see. I definitely got it in here. I just got to figure out which one of these, because I can't see fucking shit with the. No, let me find out. This one's not on here. Where is this one? That's not it. All right. Well, hold on. Let me see if I can send it right now to. All right. Let me do this. Put this over. And so, what was there anything particular that you were thinking about when you came up with the idea to do some tablets, right? I mean,
yeah. What started this here? So, the art cannon. It's actually kind of not on my site right now. I pulled it back down because I'm going to rework again with the resin printing. I can get more detail. I'm going to rework the barrel on it, and let's have some way also to control it. So the art cannon will also come with its own version.
No shit.
So yeah.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
So it's not like you're getting repeats.
Dude, that's so. This is exactly what I would want it for. When we're so when I got the CG sent a mountain cannon, and so that was like I was like, oh, I gotta have this, like a tablet for this. You know what I mean? Like it's absolutely perfect. All right, so let's see here. How the fuck did I download it last time? There we go. Download. Set. Wow, I feel like an actual genius, even though this is like terrible radio. You guys don't understand what it's like for me to be able to multitask like this and actually get shit done. There we go.
And so at least for launch, like I'm just sticking to these particular colorways and screens designs on it. But as the Eufy Maker has some quirks that I'm figuring out, and in fact, me and Chris are texting each other and kind of saying, "Oh, I figured this out." And oh, by the way, don't let this happen. Actually, Chris has probably saved me a lot of money with the text he sent me.
Nice.
But as we kind of figure out how to make it more efficient, getting that through there, I want to get to the point where I'm offering like custom screen options, right? Like you send me the PNG, I can throw it on there, right?
Let's see. I am adding it to the stage and it is not showing up. Let's see. I don't know why it's doing me like that. Let me see here.
We want.
Yeah, as I'm hitting it and it's supposed to be changing the picture, it's not changing the picture. Like now I'm hitting, it says that okay.
Well, if you've got something kind of already running as far as like a presentation, you may have to close out of it and open it back up to get the new stuff you put in it.
Let's see. Let me see if I can pull it up again. Y'all are watching me learn in real time here. Do I got to remove the other one first? And it should just put that fucker right up there. Okay. All right. So let me do this. Okay. Try this. Hey.
There we go.
I am batting a motherfucking 1,000 over here tonight. I've never been more proud of myself. So
they will be on Etsy as soon as we get done here. I'm going to hit the button and they'll be up on there.
nice. And if you notice, Footloose is using the sling. He's got it in a 2-point right now. So the perfect example, you know, he's got his primary is slung as he's trying to use that. Yeah, that's a cool ass drone. That's a gridiron one, right?
That's the gridiron one. I love gridiron stuff, man. Like, if I could afford more, I would have more.
For sure, for sure. I think their guns are worth it, and there is a few of those drones. Like I kind of want. They make the one drone. I think. Oh, it's this one right here. So they make this is the equalizer. I want to get a drone or a green version of this. I think for the Vamp, perhaps. And then one of my stingers. I think the one that I've got the door kit on. I think I want to get a black and red one for that because they actually make a red. It's actually says hiss on it. It's like a 20 millimeter pin.
They're drone uppers. Like, I love all their drone uppers, right? So like pretty much every vehicle I make that's a ground vehicle now like has an adapter for these to go on it, just because I like them so much. But they've come out with so many variations of them, I can't afford all of them.
Right. All right, so now we are going to move on to that's great pricing right there, brother. Absolutely love it. Now this is the one that he had been teasing me for a hot minute, and wait till you see these motherfuckers. Hold up, let me get the right one first. Oh, hold on, I deleted that one. Well, now I know how I need to prep for the show when I load these up and how I got to make that work. All right, here we go.
I don't mind being a guinea pig.
Bang!
These are exciting. I like these.
Very exciting. Now, first. Go ahead. Nope.
So Arschizio was when I was talking about like how my preferences in GI Joe and them being like more military and green. And he was like, "Well, no Shockwave or Alley Viper," and I was just like biting my lip. I was like, "Yes, but no." Like, so I don't like the one that came on Shockwave, and then the Night Force Shockwave, which I prefer more again because of the green, right? He didn't even come with one. So
right,
and the ones that are out there, we could really rag on Shockwaves, but I don't want to beat on them too bad. So like the police one, that's more of like a riot shield. So I wanted to make more of a entry shield, ballistic shield there. So we've got the lights on it, and again, we got some more of the Eufy Maker going to work there, printing on that. There is a shield, I guess a face shield inside that's printed in a clear resin that is semi-flexible. Now there's a caveat to that, and I put it in the Etsy listing, but I want everybody to make sure they understand this. It's see-through, but it's not perfect glass clarity. All right. So the closer something is to it, and I don't know if I can get this close enough where you can see what I'm doing. Like my finger, if I'm on it, you can see my finger. Okay. But if I back off, see how it starts to get fuzzy? That's because there are layer lines inside of there. Now you can, and I made this on purpose to do this, you can take this out, and if you want to, you can wet sand it down, and then you can make it like glass. But for me to do that would make this a lot more expensive than what it is. And it's not necessarily necessary, right? So that's kind of up to you if you want to do that. This is what that piece looks like. It's in there. It just pops out. Go ahead and pull that picture back up.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I just did something. I don't know how I did it. I pulled the picture over the top. Let's see. There we go.
All right. So he's also got a secondary inside of there.
So awesome.
I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot.
That's modeled off of a Smith & Wesson TRR-8. And I don't know if this was just internet lore or if it was real, but I like the story, so I incorporated it. Supposedly, that's an 8-shot wheel gun, right? Supposedly that was designed for SWAT guys carrying a shield, because if you take a regular one and you mount it up on the side, it might catch the slide and cause a jam. So they wanted a higher capacity revolver, right? So like if you see what that gun really looks like, it has like pick rail all over it. You can put lights and lasers and stuff like that on it. So I thought that was kind of fitting for this. So those come in the Etsy listing, again, trying to avoid all that AI mess. It's like holster with accessory is the way I would word it. Okay, so that's why it's weird like that. But yes, it does come with it. It is removable. It does come out. I think I sent you a picture. It's got like shockwave.
Yep, there we go.
Right there. So
woo, that is so pretty.
That looks good.
And aside from the original shockwave shield being on the wrong hand and not being able to be split, this
makes
one
me nuts.
You can rotate the handle that's on the back of it either way, and the handle also comes off, so that makes it easier to get it on him, and then it just pops back on the shield. So these are printed with, I'm going to call it, they call it a flexible resin, but I call it a flexing resin. Like if you try to crush it in your hand, you're going to break it, but it has enough give in it that you can kind of move it around and get it on them. But if at any point you feel like it's not going to go, add some heat, right? Because it is still resin at the end of the day. Like add some heat and it's going to bend and go with it. It fits over most arms, even the blue one. I do have him, right? Even him with his extra like arm pad thing there that he comes with, it'll go on that. But really, if you took that off, it would go on even easier. And I don't know if you can see that camera or not, but see how it's kind of starting to bend to his hand. Like that's just what resin does. It's gonna, let me kind of get back so you can get focused.
Yeah, it looks awesome, bro.
Holy
shit.
Kind of bending to his hand there. If you ever want to not do that, you take it off of him, add a little heat to it, and it'll go back. Right. So that great let me, while you got that on me, I'll show you how that comes off. So here's one right here. And so all you do is, I want to get it so you can see. You just kind of give it a little pull, and this comes off, right? You can put this now on your figure, and then when you have it set, it just presses back on, and it's not going anywhere. Right? Yeah. And
Nice.
yeah, if you want to be a left-handed guy, you just roll it over, and it'll fit that way.
Love it. Love it. Dude, every time I pull you up on the big screen, I keep looking at that atlas behind you.
Yeah, I got my mess over here. Yeah, when we get done with this, I'll show you some of that stuff over there.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Now, I did have some other pictures here. Hold on, just to show off a couple other things. Let me move some of that. So yeah, all new from the M.A.G.S line. Make sure you go over, check out. I'm going to put his link to his Etsy in the show notes, which I shockingly think I did not do, which is so
Can
stupid.
you bring the shields back up again on the big screen?
Yep. Hold on.
Got a question about them.
1 second here. I just deleted a bunch of them to make room, but I got where'd it go? Any day. There we go.
All right. Yeah, the patterns that you have on the front of the shield where it looks rough.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
So that is fuzzy skin.
Okay.
So the only FDM printers slicer that I would consider myself like knowledgeable about is Bamboo's slicer. But I know that Orca slicer and all those they're all pretty much the same. So I know Bamboo's does this. I don't know if other people have added this too, but like you don't have to do the whole surface as fuzzy skin anymore. You can paint it. And I know Gridiron just came out with like their street cone things that they somehow robbed from Chris, because I know he did it first. There's a concrete version, and all that is gray filament that they put fuzzy skin on.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if Cura has it in there. That's what I use as Cura.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard of fuzzy skin. I just never really took a look at it.
Again, so my first printer was a Creality printer, and I know around when they started coming out with the A1s, they revamped it all. They turned it into an Orca slicer, Bamboo Studio, Prusa Studio. They all kind of like decided, yes, this is the way we want to format this. So I know with Cura, that's open up enough. You could at least do it in Orca. and get that paintable fuzzy skin.
That's cool looking. I like that.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool. All right, hold on here. Let me pull something up.
So, or Skeezy, just hold your horses there, man. It's coming.
Nice. All right, let me pull up. There's one. There's the other. Hold on. Just bear with me one quick second. Enjoy the awesomeness that is those shields. Yeah, dude, that whole thing about being able to switch it to different hands is so key. And the fact that they set it up the way that they did just boils my blood. It's like, how do you it's like you almost have to try and make something so ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't fit any of your shit. It's like how they put the trigger finger on the arm of of where if you try to put the something in there, it like doesn't fit right because they've got something on their chest rig. It's like, do you not know how this works even a little bit? Like what? Like what? All right, let's see here. One more second. All right, here we go.
So Skeezy was saying he wants some like an entry pack. So that's kind of like the next step in this. They're not out yet. They're in design, but there's kind of things coming. But like, absolutely, if there's things you guys want, let me know. I can't promise anything, but
right.
The benefit of having these different types of printers that I have now set up in my system, while I'm printing the larger things and waiting for those to go through, I can crank out these little ones with the other ones.
That's what's up. So here's the sling, which is also part of the M.A.G.S line. Here I have it set up to be a single point, but you can, if you look right on the bottom tri-glide, that'll pop back through the loop there, and you'll be good to go. That is something I just wanted to show that again real quick. Something else that Matt has come out with recently that is like, where'd it go? It's like one of my favorite things. Ooh, hold on. I know I got a picture of it in here somewhere. Hold on. It should be the first one. Is this it? Or is this it? Maybe this is it. Oh, there it is. Okay. And here we have, which I absolutely love this. This is the Oracle, which I brother, I feel like you are the king of acronyms. Whenever you come up with something like the Oracle, I should have wrote it down, but it stands for something absolute. Do you know what it is off the top of your head?
I do when I go and read it because I can't ever remember it either.
Oh,
it's Operational Reconnaissance and Analysis Command Link Engine.
Nice, holy hell! But dude, it's so perfect, and obviously what makes it perfect is it makes Oracle for something like this. I think is just amazing. So I'll be honest with you, shooting this was one of my favorites because I did a bunch of different shots in like one quick afternoon. And switching the stuff around was I feel like I got a lot of really good shots, and it kind of made me think like that I overthink a lot of the things sometimes, and I can just set up a few things and take the fucking photo. But I love this because it reminds me of like a Rise to Pentor Rise. I don't remember why. I thought I was going to have Cobra Commander in the back with his hands like on his face or above his head or something. And but I don't know what happened. But Destro's, he's holding his hands on his hips. But dude, the Oracle is amazing. Having the option of 3 different slides that come in and out of there. The design you did with how it powers, how it's lit, dude. That's just like it's legit engineering. You built something that functions in a unique way, and it looks completely awesome. And I coming down after having just like released an Atlas, and then now you come to something like this. It really shows your versatility as a maker, and incorporating the light into it and everything just really blew me away. And hearing you talk about it and then seeing the first couple photos, that is one of my favorite things, is I get to see it in the progressive stages, and that shit makes me happy because it's I can always see the vision, right? Like when you show me a little something, you'd be like, it's not finished yet, it's a work in progress, but I can always kind of see exactly where you're headed with it. And this is awesome. So I absolutely love this. This is, again, make sure you're heading over, checking all these products out over on his Etsy shop. Make sure you're using Destro Designs 10 to get yourself 10% off. Our brother Stu for lunch says, great stuff, guys. Got to grab something to eat before the movie show. Have a wonderful weekend. You as well, my brother. I'll try to stop over. The movie show is Men on Film, yes, which is a take of the amazing skit Men on Film from A Living Color. But Stu is on there with a bunch of it's a Talib channel from the Figure Fight Club boys. Make sure you go over there and check him out and have a good show. Thank you, Stu. I greatly appreciate you for coming through. I'll see you over there in a bit, my brother. So Cal says, now I need this in 1/18 scale.
It would just be a bright light.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, actually, so one thing that I tried my best to come across, and maybe if I had a camera, is that when I take a picture, it made the lines look a little closer, right? The effect of how that light, what it lights up there,
right? Like,
yeah, it blows it. And I think, man, my phrasing tonight is on the money. So I don't know what exactly, if a camera could actually reduce that when it's taking the picture, but when you see those lines that, right here, we've got the medical one in where it looks like it's like almost like very much like a Weapon X kind of cover. If anybody collected Weapon X comics, where he's in the tank like that, that is so much crisper than I was able to get in the picture. It is fucking precise and looks unbelievable. Maybe what I'll do one day is try to take one, I'll put it over a black background and have it not lit. And then it would just show, not turned on. It would just show the actual thing. And you could see it because these are unfreaking believable. Travis P80 says, great stuff. Definitely going to have to pick me up some things. Brother, don't mess around. Head on over there. Destro Designs 10 to get you that 10% off for sure. But yeah, nope, that's the Oracle. The Oracle is fantastic. I don't know why I didn't load up a couple more pictures of that. Absolutely love it. Now, I would be remiss because I hold this up and show it all the time, but I want to just, this thing here is so goddamn awesome. Like, I feel like I'm gonna, and I've said this before, and I really have to do it where I can get like an over the top camera shot where I really go deep into this thing and I can kind of, more phrasing, and I can really get in and take a look at some of this stuff, because that whole front part there that y'all are looking at folds down, right? And I know you've probably seen me do that. Let me see if I can slide this over.
I can pick this one up if you can't.
Okay. All right. No, here, let me get, there we go. I mean, it's your magnum opus for sure. Dude, it's so awesome.
Now I got to pick it up. Forgot about that. Okay. Here we go.
Oh,
right there. So this one has the RC wheel adapters on it, just because I like rubber tires. This opens up, and the doors open up.
Very cool. Very cool.
Got to get directed correctly.
Yeah. So the different colors that you have in there definitely shows off the details of the inside than better than the one that I have. Now, I love the colors that I have because it's universal. But don't worry, you can do that to yours and it won't break. Matt's stuff is tested. I dropped a whole bunch of shit down the stairs once, none of it broke.
Not recommended, but if it happens, yeah.
Not recommended. It's not recommended. But so that right there for toy photography, being able to open that up, get your figure set in those seats, and then closing it and shooting through, because each door has a view window was see-through. There's the hatch, and then there is the window in the front. Oh man. And that door, that right there, bro, it's such, I mean, it's like that's one of the things I always try to point out to people about that is look at how much detail went into the back door. You know what I mean? That door is like a hull, like a bulkhead kind of door. Oh, so fucking awesome. And you can fit 3 snake armors in the back, by the way. You know what? I should have took a pic of that to put up here. Because, yeah, if there's this extension piece right here, which will go into the tailgate. And then it allows the back hatch to fold down. And when that's down, you can comfortably fit 3 snake armors, which is crazy town. So yeah, let's see. Back to.
And if you add like the RC tires to it, it like adds like another like 6 pounds to it.
Right. So let's see. We'll go back here. I got another shot. Thano Karamalis in the house. What's up, my brother? How are you? You're going to be on the show next week. For if I don't know, obviously haven't put the promo out yet, but so y'all know, the gentleman has the most ridiculous collection I've ever seen, and I'm excited to have him on the show to talk about it. Also, phenomenal customizer, forever customizing all kinds of stuff. Okay. So here's the back of the Atlas. Oh, what's it doing? Nope. All right. Well, it's showing different stuff. So anyway, there's the side of the Atlas that gives it more of a profile. I absolutely love this thing. Now, I did have a different shot. Is it this one? No. Don't know how this worked out. There we go. So that is the back of the Atlas with the lid on it. So if you look up at the top, running, towards the back of the truck, that's 2 Wolf Spider backpacks, and then Night Force Beachhead and Night Force Shockwaves backpacks. That if you look, the M249 is still mounted on the inside, but that can come off. And when you have the top off, it can be, use it to spray, keep everybody off the side. I've got two battle helmets with nods on them. There's the Shockwave. I forgot to take that little light out of the picture. It looks like somebody's drinking some hot lava, but that's actually just a nice little red accent light. And as you can see, like, this picture looks cool, but it also makes it look like the ram cycle that's there is tight in there. That is not tight in there. There is so much freaking room. 3 snake armors up in there for sure, 100%. Gotta love it. And yeah, so that's let's see, did I have anything else here? I felt like there was another the Atlas shots, 1, 2, 3 Atlas. There's that. Here's that. All right. Yeah, that was
worth mentioning. There is going to be an Arctic version of the Atlas coming out here very soon. I was actually doing some modeling this week. I was going to show some renders for it, but until I do like actual prints to make sure it works, I don't want anybody to get their hopes up for something and then it not show up. But that should be coming very soon. And if you already have an Atlas, you don't want an Arctic one, but you want the accessories that are going to go on this one, they'll be offered separately too, because it is interchangeable with stuff.
Nice. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. I think it's, having options like that, I think is really good. Let me see here. All right. Oh, I was going to see if I could send something else. Let's see. Nice. So, the Arctic Atlas. Are you thinking that that's going to be maybe like you're going to have the same? Is it going to be kind of the same thing with as far as the back goes? I know you had talked about maybe
so the whole back section, that whole like bed and cover, is made to be removable. Like you can take that off. So we're going as it is right now. We're going with some kind of drone launching cab in the back. The idea is that one side is going to flip open so you can see inside. The part that flips open can be its own sort of outer deck, and then the drone itself is still kind of in construction, but it's going to be very similar to like the Raptor. I'm going to keep it kind of in the same family. The drone is going to be very similar to this.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
And then the back end, instead of tires, we're going to have tank treads, because I kind of tank treads have kind of been my white whale. And I think I've finally figured out, like, I can make all the pieces and I can pin them together, but that would take so long and end up adding so much cost to something that's already expensive. So I've got, this doesn't look like much right here, but this is all printed one piece, and it does this. So
Holy shit!
Figured that out. So now I just got to make it go in a circle. Right? So,
dude, holy hell, that seems crazy to be able to do in one piece.
Like,
am I crazy? I mean, that seems
like print in place is not my design, but getting the tolerances for my machine to make it work and work reliably has been sort of like
okay. Wow, man, that's awesome. So what's the biggest challenge with the tank treads?
So, like, if you look at the gridiron ones, and I don't have it with me, but on their little drone thing, I don't know if it's what they do, but it looks like they have a pin pressed through it that's each little track, which is fine because they may have some jig set up to do that. I don't.
Okay.
The other option is to print it out of something like any type of rubber type filament, right? So, God, I'm losing my mind right now. I can't think of what it's called. TPU is what it is on an FDM printer. The only problem with that is TPU is slow to print. It doesn't always print very good. It's finicky. It's you have to keep it very, very dry. And I live in a very humid state.
Okay.
And it's also expensive. So then there's also really flexible resins that would also work, but my printers don't have a big enough build plate for something that big. So I've got to do sections. And again, you can pin them all together, and I could do that, but I don't want to pin all of them together, and I don't want to charge you for pinning them all together, and you don't want to pay me for pinning them all together.
Right,
So
right.
all together, and maybe just do one pin, then I'm happy to do that. So again, it doesn't look like much, but like when I tell you, like I was super excited when this finally worked, right? We're gonna make that happen, and then the tank treads are gonna be large enough on the Atlas, and it's a removable piece. It's gonna be one section. There's gonna be other things that can be made on that.
Okay. Nice. Like it. I can dig that. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Now I'm running into some trouble. I was trying to bring up a couple more pictures, and I can't tell if it's.
I can show you some kind of other stuff I'm working on. We were talking about the Eufy maker and the things it can do. It can print directly on it, but it also makes
okay. There we go.
Stickers, DTF stickers. They come like now the sheet's all chopped up. Oh, he's gone. I'll keep going. So you get these guys here, and what's nice about these, they work a lot like water slides, but they're more durable. Now they're not as durable if you printed straight on it. Like you can still get them back off, but they're pretty durable. So I put one on one of the shields, right?
Oh, look at that.
I'm showing the stickers, the DTF stickers that it can make.
Okay.
So sheets are coming. So this guy right here, again, we would rather it be in the black or the blue and the red, but just to kind of show what you can do with it and what's going to probably come first is this guy.
That looks so awesome.
So the stickers are coming, but like I like what CG did where you had the more here, but that's what's nice about the sticker one is you can put it wherever you want, and it's semi-permanent. You can definitely get it off if you wanted to versus if it was printed straight on it. I tried to test out how small you can make them. He's gonna want to see this.
I did it again.
Hey, all right.
I know what I'm doing. At least this is like it's not an unseen difficult.
You have to go to the bathroom. Stay here for a minute. All right. See if you can make me big because this is really small.
Oh, let's see here.
Okay, that works. So I don't know. This is a Valaverse Praetorian, but I wanted him to be G.I. Joe. So I don't know if you can see on his chest.
Oh shit!
See the numbers?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's one of these DTF stickers, and over here it's the Cobra logo, but I need to make it a little bit bigger. I could peel this off if I wanted to. It does come off. The only downside to these right now is that top coat only comes in gloss. And I would really like it if they came out with a matte. But to fix that, you could spray matte over it and it wouldn't be shiny anymore. But then at that point, I don't know how easy it would be to get it off.
Right.
The Valaverse, like, dress up your soldier pack. I got that thing and it's awesome if I can get that. Again, I was just seeing how small I can make it. So we've got another 788 there. And it just sticks on. But you see that shine on it? You can
yes.
With matte spray.
Look at that. Whoo, buddy.
That's about as small as you can go before you start kind of like losing detail on it. So for this, you'll probably get a pack. I'm going to have something that says like police and in different languages and get the Cobra logos or like the like a spray painted like Dreadnought logo or something like that you can put on it.
Dude.
So sticker sheet.
That Eufy maker is like
where you can get the like no step and all that.
Nice. Oh yeah, dude. No step has got to be one of the more crucial ones in the sense that like that's whenever I see like the ASP, for instance, that was definitely like one of the first things that I was like, oh, I need to get a no step for this.
Come on, focus. Focus.
Dude.
I don't know if
Yes.
you made it yet or not, but it comes out a lot better in person. But you put your M.A.G.S logo on there. That's about as small as it goes, though.
Dude, that's so fantastic.
Sticker sheets will be out. Other things. So I told you I pulled down the arc, so I'm going to rework this barrel. You're also going to see some upgrades to some of the small arms on like the outpost, and yeah, we'll do the outpost next. But where did I put it? I lose it. I was going to show you the original one versus. Oh, here we go. All right, so this is the guy, and I'm just going to do the top part. So again, we don't get like flagged with anything. So this is that long thing that comes on the outpost, right?
Oh, yep.
It's fine, but this is 9 pieces, right? That I have to glue together to make it look like that, and it's okay. It's a placeholder. It was always intended to be a placeholder for like a gridiron or something.
Right. Fair enough.
Stuff. I don't know if you can see it, but like there's actual holes there, right?
Yep.
You can see through it there. Overall, it's all just sturdier. This prints in 3 pieces. Now I'll do the other side and not make it what it actually is, but the ammo can. Upside down in the camera. You know what? Heck with it. Here we go. So we got up on it. This is all one piece now.
Dude, that looks. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with the other one, but that looks. It's a little more crisp. The detail is a little. Yeah, man. Woo.
So if the way I'm doing it, this is almost ready to go. I got a little bit more testing to go. I just want to make sure it's not like. It's not going to do anything weird over time in the sun, right? It's pretty
okay. Well, that attention.
An outpost today, it'll still have the older one on it, but when these are released, I'm going to work out something to like take care of all you guys that got it before that one's in there. It'll also be released as a standalone thing if you want more. Let me see if I can get this pulled up here. Again, I'm going to cover part of it to hopefully keep the robots away, but. So a stand, right? Sectional stand, so you can do height adjustments. Yep. Sitting down if you want.
Yep. Wow.
Or if you want it taller in whatever, right?
So the first thing I'm thinking of, brother, is when I see that is that you have that wonderful attachment that goes onto the top of the awe striker. And that bad boy on top of the awe striker might be it. So if you go and look on Matt's Etsy, he's got 2 things for the awe striker. One, he's got a clip set that will keep that roll cage on for you. It works perfectly. And then the same thing for the there's a top mount that'll help you mount his stuff, and a gridiron compatible, by the way. Rock Lockdown says, all right, I'm wiped. Masters of the Universe tomorrow. Have a great night. Thank you for coming through, my brother. Matter of fact, I'm going to see it, I think, either tomorrow or Monday myself. There it is.
There it is on there.
Dude, look at how awesome that looks. Oof, that's where mine's going. Mine's going right up there. Like, as much as I love the one that came with it, but that is, yeah, bro. That's something. I have not been able to take enough pictures of my vehicles. I've got so much, so many vehicles that I don't take enough, photos of. I got to start doing it. Like, well, first things first, before I get to anything else, that ASP is gonna get the treatment there, and I'm excited for that. Ooh, where are we here? There we go. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, anybody that knows, has been hanging around the podcast. I talk about Matt stuff pretty consistently. It's from the first bit of business that we did together. It's been awesome. Like, I didn't even know anything really about Etsy, and I opened it up one day and I was like, oh my God, the first thing I saw was the green outpost. And I was like, what? And I remember clicking over to his page and seeing all the stuff. I'm like, how have I not seen this yet? And so pretty much ever since then, I was like, please let me be your mouthpiece for your amazing products. And he has
on top of that too, you got sent to my spam folder, so it's set.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. It wasn't that long. It was a couple weeks though. I think I remember thinking it popped up into my head, and then I missed your reply. It was like, because I had to go to the Etsy. I was like, man, I don't think I ever heard from that guy. and I went and looked, and there was the response, and it's been a beautiful working relationship ever since. Proud to call you brother, and I'm happy that yep, there it is. Look at how good that looks.
That change hasn't been made yet. So again, if you get it, you'll get the old one. It still looks good. It's just a lot more people for me to put it together. 100%. But when it does go, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to make sure you get one, right?
That's awesome.
Figure out the best way to make that happen. So,
definitely. And it's always been that, with so many places that people do business with nowadays being like this, you're dealing with big box stores where you're calling to customer service and you're talking to a guy that doesn't even live in the United States, doesn't give a shit about what you got going on. This is, you are speaking directly to the man himself. And I've had nothing but, like, just for instance, just the kind of thoughtfulness, Conrad made a move recently from one place to the other, and he had to put a lot of stuff in storage while he was waiting to make his, whatever. And in the move, he realized he had lost, I think it was an outpost.
It was one of the pillars.
Pillars, right? Mm-hmm. Lost one of them, and reached out to. Did he even reach out, or did you just heard him say that?
He said it on here, and I said,
"Yes, that's right." And so Matt basically just put it together and sent it to him, which is that's customer service. That's intimately knowing the person that you're buying from and supporting, right? So, Matt is a full-time printer. This is not a side hustle for him. This is his real deal. This is how he makes it happen for himself. And so I'm always incredibly proud. Like, just so the other day, I went back and I started just, putting out pictures that I had maybe already taken so I could kind of keep the flow of everybody seeing your stuff all the time.
Remember me, right?
Yeah. And it's
it's really humbling that people buy my stuff and then they like my stuff and then they come back more and buy more stuff. Never did I think I'd be in this position. I'm glad that I am, but also every time you do, it's not going to a corporation. It's putting food on my table. That's right. What it's doing.
Right.
And I really do appreciate that.
Absolutely. You said something one time when we were rolling out the Atlas where I had said, basically like, we were talking about space and money, and you, just the way you said it about knowing it's an investment, that you were like, I need to earn that space on your shelf, right? So you're recognizing the investment that the customer's making. You're recognizing the commitment that they're making, because listen, I have a decent amount of space here and my space is fucking tight now. I don't know. I think all the stuff that's over there, my dial supplies, I think I'm going to have to move them out to the shop so I can expand over this way just a little bit. Like, I'm encroaching to lurching over the back of my hot water tank and my heating system. So I just got to, keep that straight. So, Melted Copper in the house. What's up, my brother? He says, I tried to reach out at people in my local mail and now I can't go back where it's just my local mall. Gesture Designs kidnapped my dogs and gave them to Somalians for a neighborhood. There it is.
And
there it is. Look how gorgeous that is.
For you. So again, these are all customizable. We're talking about taking up space. So any of my air stuff, I'm trying to think if I have an exception. No, in my air stuff, they've got little pieces in here and back here that I've designed. You can put a zip tie through, and don't just put the string straight through it, but put a zip tie through it and then tie your fishing line or whatever to, and you can hang them, and that's going to save you some space too. And they're meant to do that. Like I hung one of these for I think 3 months and it was fine. The zip ties taking the damage before this does. So just keep your stuff, because if it sways back and forth, that fishing line cuts plastic. That's why I say use a zip tie. They're just tougher.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So aircraft stuff. I do have smaller vehicles. I have a smaller aircraft and a smaller ground vehicle I'm working on. So yeah, this is a behemoth. But if you want air stuff, it's coming, right? Because I've already got the Raptor, but there's something else coming too that's kind of
nice.
Clean.
Nice, dude. That looks fantastic. Good Lord. I love the double rappelling on there. I think that's awesome.
That's the other thing. If you can hang it up, then you can hang hang things out of it, so that you save some more shelf space, right? Because you've got figures hanging off of it and it hanging off the ceiling.
Definitely.
It's all hanging off the ceiling fan.
I've got that's I've envisioned wolf spiders coming down from each side as Strike Team Fangbuster just takes over a building, from the top to bottom, the whole thing. So our brother Melted Copper says, "I like things tight. It's why I date midgets." So, Melted Copper joins us on Mondays over on Destro's My Spirit Animal Live. Thank you for joining us over here tonight, my brother. I greatly appreciate that. Yeah, we're all laughing. Nice. And what you got there, the Raptor?
Oh, this is the Raptor. So this is the first thing I ever 3D designed myself completely to print.
Nice. Okay.
I think that's like the best.
It took like 6 months to make this. They're significantly faster now, but like that took a long. This is what I learned on, right? And I look back at it when I'm building, and I'm like, there's things I could do better to make this go together faster. But right now, it still works. And this one was actually printed on like I said before. I had the bamboos. I had the Creality. They didn't even call them Ks, and it was just the Max, right?
Oh yeah.
So
damn.
If you look really close at it, it's not as nice as the other ones, but this was the first one, so I keep it.
Okay. Well, that's cool that you have the first one. That's to look back on and be like, yeah, to say, dude, I absolutely think the design on that is so out of this world awesome. Like when you hold it sideways, like yes, dude, that's profile. Yo, it looks legit like a fucking nightmare for the enemy, right? Like it is coming right up at you. It's coming fast. It can shoot up. It can go down. But the way that it has it's got those huge cannons. I don't know, man. It's like I would rather have that than the V. I mean, you gotta, if they come out with a VTOL, sure, you're gonna buy one for the nostalgia of it. But that right there is where it's at. That thing is fucking amazing, dude. It's got
it was my answer to this thing, right? So, when I was just making stuff for my kid, this was one of the first things I printed. This was on like a Creality Ender printer. This took like a month to print, right? Like,
right.
But I was just like, okay, what can I do that's like that? That's mine, because I don't want to just do what's theirs. And plus, there's already like 30 people making one that looks like that. So this is what came out of it.
Sure.
And I try to do it in as many ones as I can. I don't get them. It doesn't happen in all of them now, but for a while, all of them. The thing that keeps the tension inside of this, there's an O-ring inside of it. So I thought it was like where I can, I put it in, because my original toys were O-ring toys, right? So on the toys I'm making, I try to hide an O-ring in it when it makes sense. There's O-rings in the Atlas. Just like, obviously the Outpost is not an O-ring, there's a reason for it to be there. But where I can, I slide an O-ring in there.
Nice. Very good. Well, I think we're just about good. I've been trying to keep them to around the 3-hour mark for sure. Real quick though, I do want to run through, and because I always do talk about Chris's stuff a little bit, and I do have a couple of pictures I want to show up of some of his latest stuff. And also, I have to add that most of the time, the stuff that Matt makes and the stuff that Chris from Sister Yarsel make dovetail quite well. Like I did that one shoot where I had the Atlas and the Snow Trooper, but I had the mechanics case up in tool set up in the back of the Atlas, and the shot that was looking up, the Snow Serpent was getting something out of the thing. So the stuff just goes so well together, without a doubt. So let's see.
Any of its cases, the inside of the Shadowhawk, it's not by accident that they fit.
Nice.
Like, that's when he was selling this. I don't know if he still does it or not. When he was selling his models, I got him and I made sure. I'm going to make sure they fit. That's just too well.
I mean, dude, and something like that from photography where it looks like it fits is fantastic. So maybe one day y'all can work on a collaboration, which you're already kind of doing it in a roundabout way by having stuff that dovetails so nicely. But some of the new stuff that, first off, I'll just jump to this real quick. Chris is making 1/18 scale mission crates. So for all my 3 3/4 brethren that are out there, you now can have the awesomeness of the mission crates. I sent Chris that scrap iron, by the way. I was so happy as just a little gift. I had 2 of them, and I'm pretty sure scrap iron is like his favorite guy. So I sent him over there, and I was happy to see him getting his run for sure. And actually, there's shirts. You know what? That's something I should have took a picture of. I got a shirt on the way for Scrap Iron. Very, very cool. So yeah, 118 scale stuff coming from the man himself. Now, this shit right here is incredible, right? Those are those inserts that I was talking about. So I have one of the long red ones and one of the short red ones, and I will be getting these inserts, right? So if you already bought one of those cases and you were just using it for like Lifeline or in the background for a first aid kit somewhere, you can now just get these inserts. But the thing is that one right there, if you look, it's got something on the lid, and the that is going to be because it's the same case as this 788 one that I have here. It's the new version. These are his laptop cases, and so if you look, he's got all that detail with the scissors up on the back part. I wish I could zoom into that. I'm sure I can. But that looks amazing. The spine. I keep calling it a springboard. The spine board is incredible. It looks like now. Matt, can you tell, are those like the same tri-glides that you're using? Because he's got, I think he even said tri-glide.
I know they're not the same ones because I make mine.
Oh, that's correct.
But
no, you're right.
It's just a tri-glide. Like, so that's not that tough to model out. So I'm
gotcha.
If he's found them. That might be a wider strap than what I have on mine.
But that would make sense. Yours is scaled perfectly for a primary weapon. This is,
that would make more sense to do.
Very cool, very cool. And just another pick here. This is one Chris did himself. So if you look, that thing that's in Doc's hand is coming out of the crate right there. So he's just, I mean, how awesome is that? And then before I knew that these were coming, this is one I did. This was actually a shot from I did the Atlas where the police all came out of the back of the Atlas. I think civil unrest is maybe what it was, but that right there, I just threw that one in as a thing there. So yeah, make sure you were going over and checking out everything from sys3darsenal.com. Make sure you're using Destro Designs to get your 10% off. That lets them know that Destro sent you. And again, it's, and moving forward, I'll have every show, I'll have a bunch of pictures from you, a bunch of pictures from Chris, and now I can do that little advertising section so much better, right? Instead of me holding, like if I get something new, I can still just take pictures of it and put it up here, right? It's better quality that people can zoom in on it and everything like that. So yeah, that's and then I can actually put up, like a graphic that's got all the names on it and everything. But even though the show was everything that was about Matt and all his products, I just wanted to slip this in from Chris. So yeah, sys3darsenal.com. You're using that Destro Designs 10, and hell yeah. Now let me get us back to, here we go. All right. So I feel like that's it, boys. I think we've done did it. We're at that 3 hour mark, and yeah, it's one thing when we have, one of the shows where we got 5 or 6 people and we're doing a panel style. Those are going to run a little bit longer, but for the most part, I really got to try to keep it. I've got CG. You must be on your last leg, brother.
Dude, I'm beat. I am beat.
Yeah, 4 hours of sleep. What'd you say? 3 hours of sleep? You were
3 hours of sleep. Yeah.
That's brutal. That's absolutely brutal.
And then I was up like 24 hours. So I get up at 5:30 in the morning for work. And then I didn't go to bed till 5 in the morning. And then slept 3. And so.
Well, I appreciate you coming by. Dead tired.
Dude, I love seeing your stuff.
For sure. No, I appreciate you coming too. Absolutely. So coming soon, I will be slightly rearranging now that I have the full landscape. There's certain things I like, but also if I can find time, I kind of would like to, because it's like, what do you put in the shot? You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could have it like a little bit closer and have a little bit more detail and have the shelving come literally like right over the top of my head like this, right? And have stuff right all the way around. I would almost be framed into it, But what I like is that it's two pieces. This goes this way, this goes this way, and it forms a point, as opposed to if I sat flat in front of this thing, right, and turned it, you would be missing everything that's behind me. Now it's mostly just like the point, but whatever. So yeah, let's see. CG, you saw He-Man, right? You saw the movie?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a great movie.
it's a good movie. Nice, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about that the other day. Matt, have you seen He-Man?
So not yet. My son wants to see it, but he's autistic, so like he'll get anxiety follows that, right? So we've got to get it at the perfect time when he wants to go to the movie theater, right? And
Okay.
so it hasn't aligned yet, but it will. We'll get there.
Perfect, perfect. Well, I am going to see it. My kids do not want to go, so I will most likely be going to check it out by myself. I don't think I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm actually bringing the kids to my parents so they can swim, and I'm building a giant. It's a it's like a mini shed basically, or I'm sorry, it's like a mini garage that goes up like a shed. It's mostly metal and plastic and everything. My dad, it's in three absolutely enormous boxes at my parents' house, and I've got to grade the land, get the rocks, set some 6x6s, and then build. I'm not doing it all tomorrow, but I'm going over there to get going on a few things. My dude, my dumpster guy that has all, he's got a dumpster over there, and my parents started throwing stuff in, but I'm going over tomorrow to help him with all that. Yeah, Melted Copper says Designs has to see it tomorrow. The Monday topic. Yes, no. So believe it or not, because I'm going to my parents tomorrow, there's a good chance that I'm going to be taking Monday as a office day. So I'll be doing some stuff here at the house, catching up on some paperwork and shit like that, and then somewhere in the early afternoon, I'll go over so I can have the theater to myself and sit there and whack my vape and my pen and just enjoy it like that. I don't know. I've seen a varying range of, for the most part, people said that it was fun, right? That I think if you go into it like anything, like even a G.I. Joe movie, if you're going into it looking to get this specific vision of what you think it should be, I think you're probably selling yourself short, or not. That's not saying you're pigeonholing yourself into only going to enjoy it unless it's like this knock it out of the park. Does that make sense to you? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm going to go into it just kind of like saying, you know what? I'm coming to see that I know they're going to have humor that's not going to land the way I want it to, right? Those kind of movies, it's never really that good. Like if you look at some of the jokes in like the Transformers movies, they're lame as shit. But I went to go to the Transformer movies to see shit transform, and they did that part pretty well, right? So it is what it is. Those Michael Bay Transformers, they get ripped on a lot, but at the same time, it's I don't know what they expected. Melted Copper says the heroes actually do a lot of killing in He-Man. Okay, I'll take it for sure. Cobra Asset in the house. He says He-Man is badass. Thank you for joining us, Lewis. Cobra Asset is the fine gentleman who is the recipient of the 5.5-foot Night Raven from GI Customs. My man has that. Can't wait to see that together, my brother. I know I bring that up every time. Obviously no rush. I know, believe me, if there's anybody who knows what it's like to be busy, it's me for sure. So yeah, I just wanted to see if you had saw that He-Man, Matt. I'm gonna be going to take. I mean, honestly, if tomorrow, if I come back from my parents and the kids are beat from swimming in the pool and they just gonna go right to bed, maybe I scoot out and go see it then. But either way, we will be talking about it on Monday. Destro is my spirit animal. R.A. Rain is joining us, and we will have basically going to do the whole show on talking about the He-Man movie. So if you haven't seen it, that you may not want to watch this. It's going to be just spoilers from one end to the other. Like we're probably going to, I said, maybe Mark will say it in the beginning, like, hey, if you haven't seen it yet and your spoilers are not your thing, then you may want to, we don't want to alienate some of I should stop saying that. I want to alienate some of the audience. So, Ortizio says, perfect timing. I just did a render of Strato Viper, just having fun. Oh, nice. That's what's up. Melted Copper says, if I was to nitpick, Adam should have been Shrank like little Steve Rogers or a different actor, and Cringer is always, too large, making him bot really frustrating. Okay, so I see what you're saying. So when he was Adam, maybe he would have looked a little smaller, like he didn't necessarily bulk up as much. In the cartoon, though, he was kind of that size. He just had the shirt on, right?
Yeah.
The original '83 cartoon, Adam was huge. He didn't get any bigger as He-Man. He just became tan.
He just took his shirt off. Yeah.
Yeah. In the 2000s version, he was a scrawny kid, and then he became big. So I think this was more honoring the '83 one that we grew up watching.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Did anybody see the Netflix? Wasn't there something? Didn't Kevin Smith make something on Netflix?
I prefer not to talk about that one.
Was it that bad?
I no comment. It just wasn't my thing. Kevin Smith's not a He-Man fan as much as he's not a He-Man fan.
Okay.
So in my opinion, he was clueless on what to do. You don't have a He-Man show and kill He-Man off in the first 5 minutes.
Right. Oh, Schizio says the game is tied. I stopped thinking about it because it was distracting me. Well, I know what I'm going to go watch. Well, thank you for being honest about it, CG. I remember, I think, like, I heard about it, and I think I went and put it on, and like most things, I just fell asleep. And when I woke up the next day, I forgot that I had even watched it and that it existed, and I just never went back. Like, literally, it was crazy. And it was like a month later that I was like, oh wait, wasn't I watching that freaking show? And and that was that. 4 minutes left. It is tied at 85. Defensive struggle. Fuck yeah.
Kyle, I don't know if you guys know who comedian Kyle Dunnigan is.
Yes.
So he used to have his podcast, and he would do Rocky's pick-me-ups. So he'd imitate Rocky Balboa doing these pick-me-ups, and he has one about Kevin Smith. I'm going to post it on Twitter. And it's about the He-Man TV show. It is, dude, I laugh every time I watch it. It is like his best bit I've ever seen.
Dude, what does he do? He does something that's like, oh my God, I'm trying to think what I know him from. He does something when he first hit and became popular. He did a parody of somebody, right?
Yeah, he can do impressions. So what he did was he had this app that would basically make his face look like famous people. And so he had like like a Hunter Biden show.
Okay.
And it was like how Hunter living in the White House, and it was funny because it was just like and so he would do Hunter, Joe, all these people in the White House at the time, and then he did a Star Trek one. So he kind of just dropped off. It used to be him and Kurt Metzger would do it, and now he's just kind of dropped off now. So I assume he's touring and shit.
Right. No, I definitely remember the name immediately stuck out to me because he's Melted Copper says, I just see modern Kevin Smith as the crying guy. Yeah,
that's a potato diet.
Right. Isn't that what it is? Did he get surgery, or did homeboy lose? Didn't he have
he had a heart attack.
He had a heart attack. Right,
and he went on a potato diet. And it seems like since he lost the weight and the potato diet, he cries over everything. Look, there's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
But it just seems like it's all the time.
Well, this is, I've heard this before, that it's like his whole identity for the most part, which, hey, gotta let it out, I guess. Christmas Sister, the Arsenal says pink vest, which is basically when we were talking about Adam from the from the original cartoon. Yeah, he had that pink vest. God, there was so many on the fence things about that. Melted Copper says, I'm more of a fan of the 2000 Skeletor gets his face melted off. Somebody said that in a comment the other day. Is that what happened in the 2000 show? Is something he got his face melted off? He was like a real person?
Yeah, his name was Caldor. And I don't know if it was King Randor and him were fighting and it happened. And then he became Skeletor, yeah. Melted his face off.
That sounds familiar. Now that we're saying that, I feel like I came across that somewhere. There was so much stuff that happened. Like, I told the story before how, like, sometimes I don't pay enough attention to shit. And, like, because somebody, like, I was this close to knowing about Classified much earlier. I was talking to somebody about how I had recently, like, so in 2008, 2008, wow, when was it? 2018 think I found a bunch of shit at Walmart, and it was like, I don't know if it was 30th anniversary or whatever the hell it was. I think it was 2018, and I had picked up like a couple of the old vehicles. They were like $6 a piece in the box. Like I got the Fang, the Hiss 1, the Hiss 3, the Striker, and I was like, oh, all right, this is cool. It's like still in the box, and they went right in the closet, and I didn't really, and then I wound up was at a get together 2021 or 22. When did the Hiss come out? Was that 2022 that they did the campaign? I think it's classified hit in 2021, and then the next year I think they did.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Something like that. So yeah, it was when it was trying to fund. They were like, oh, I remember the dude said it. He likes G.I. Joe. He's not like us, but he did like G.I. Joe. And I remember he was like, oh, hey, did you know that G.I. Joe's making like this whole fucking whatever? And anything he said about the classified line got pushed out of my head because he showed me like this with his phone, and it was the Hiss HasLab. Now, I had no fucking idea that everything was in 1/12 scale. So when I looked at it, I was like, wait. I get the same not plain, but like the same Hiss tank that I probably got for like $4 when I was a kid. They want $300 for this, and I don't get it for a year. I was like, what the fuck is this? Get this the fuck out of here. I don't want to look at this. And I was like, that's actually Hasbro. And at that point I should have went and I should have looked at it more. But I was like, man, I don't know what that is, but I don't want anything to do with a $300 tank that's like this big. But it's not. It's one of the coolest things I ever seen. But that's how close I was to actually getting into everything at that age. So I wound up not seeing anything until I found the Alley Viper. And I think I asked you this before, Matt. When did you wind up? Were you always collecting the Joes, or did Classified bring you back?
No, so after girls like everybody, right? And you stop doing toys. I would go like through the toy aisle, like if I was at like Target or Walmart, just to look and see what's going on. I was like, oh, these are cool, right? It wasn't until like I had my kid, and then I think it was actually a retro card Destro was on the shelf, and he was like, hey, what's this? And I was like, well, let me tell you, son, this is what this is, right? And so then I was like, these are cool. So then I got him some, and I was like, well, now I want some, and that's what pulled me in. And then I was like, but there's no vehicles for any of these that I was aware of. And I was like, I got a 3D printer, maybe I can print some. And so I went through the whole like rabbit hole online, and it was actually a Pixis design on like a forum, but he was using his real name, so I didn't know it was even him. And he had just done like the Rolling Thunder, and somebody was like, oh, that should cost like $30. You can like just print it yourself. And he was like, go ahead and do it. And I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. And then I was like, I understand why he charges this much for this.
Right 100%. 100%.
So started all this,
dude. Even yeah. I printed some of these from Chris, right? So I made myself a whole set of these. I got a bunch of them. They're Alley Viper colors, right? This is from Chris from Sys 3D Arsenal. I painted them gray, and oh yeah, look, I haven't had a chance, but I knew we were going to get gold Destro eventually, so I made some Iron Grenadier ones too. I don't think I've showed these yet, but I've got the gold and around with a little red stripe on the bottom. So the Iron Grenadiers are going to have their own setup. Basically what I did is I printed for every sub team 2 of these and 3 of these for every single sub team. The Hiss crew has them over there. The Alley Vipers got some. The Joes have some. I feel like there was definitely another one. Oh, I have the blue and the red ones up here for like the Vipers and stuff like that. But anyways, once I printed, I think I made this one second. This I actually had to scale down to fit into my printer. And again, also felt like a god when I figured that out and actually made it work. But so when I made this one at first, like if you look deep in there, you can see I didn't clean that shit at all. Chris didn't make this. I printed this, just so we're abundantly clear. And what I did is I just took you print it in 2 separate parts, but cleaning it, I had to fucking clean the shit. I was like, what? Immediately, just like you said, I immediately went, oh, he's not charging enough. I was like, oh, okay. I very much understand why they're the price that they are now. And I always looked at it differently, which I think is important, right? Believe me, I've had some customers in my time that I wish they could go do what I do. Yeah, go to Home Depot. Yeah, I'm sure you can do this. Go to Home Depot, spend fucking 40 grand on tools real quick, and then just fucking come back and you can do it too. But yeah, I definitely downloaded these files like almost immediately, and honestly, once I started I stopped. So Chris sent me a set of the I have the locker storage. Oh, Chris, that's what I forgot to show pictures of. He's got new armory walls coming out. Fuck, I wanted to show those pictures. I'm sorry, brother. But this here, I got this whole setup for the Cobra Coil launching facility. You know, y'all have seen it. That whole armory shot. Once I got these, I went, oh, I'm not gonna print my own anymore. These look good. The ones that I was doing, the print files were excellent. That's not the problem. I just was like, oh, I don't have I can't, I'm not taking the time to clean them in the way that I should. And I was like, his just look so fucking on the money, you know? Justin MK says, Jojo bros, man, I missed a bunch. That's all right, brother. We are walking out the door in a hot minute here. We've been kicking around for a while, but I appreciate any of the replay squads. So again, here we are. You know, this is the first episode of what is it? I think this is episode 51, but this is now the first episode of what is going to be the incarnation of Live from Viper Den Studios. So it's very simple stuff. Anybody that's probably done a stream is like, oh my God, you just add the pictures. What's the big deal? I couldn't do this now. So when I look down at my the bar to do stuff, there's an extra button down here. That's how I load the pictures. You can't do that on a mobile version. And then over here, I have something else. So I've got to find a way to get this stuff on here, because right now it's only allowing me to put 10 pictures up. But what it does do is I could show them all at the same time if I wanted, right? So there's some benefit to that. But the thing is, like I said, Justin MK, I'm using StreamYard. That's correct. So when what I was doing, the reason I was getting out of here was when I was dragging my hand, the icon across from the comment section back down to download the picture, I was hitting the leave button. So it was sending me back out. And then I was like, oh my God, at least it doesn't shut the stream down, right? You guys get to keep going. And I just 2 clicks of the button and I come back in for sure. But no, this was exciting. And again, Chris, I am actually going to reach out to you, brother. I'd love to get you on and do something similar for sure. Now that was the hot topic when he was on the first time. I was like, dude, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to hold things up to talk about your stuff. I'm very interested to see how it works out though with a second camera. Because I have one that I bought. Oh, it's over there, that I bought for the desktop. So if I can just plug that bitch in, and hold it over the side over here where I have stuff and I can show that as well. Like the overhead projector, I think that's going to be awesome for sure. Melted Copper says, just get a tablet and homely wave the tablet at the camera with the picture you want. The funny thing is that sounds like something I would do. Why get a polished presentation when you can have terrible jerry rigs? So terrible jerry rigs is a different way of saying, so I always call it low-tech solutions for high-tech problems. That's me, right? If there was a way I could tap 2 rocks together or something and make it work, believe me that I would. So, all right, boys, I think it's time to wrap it up. Let's see. CG Horror, my brother, where can we find you?
Here, Twitter, and Instagram.
Fuck yeah. Yep. CG Horror on X over on Insta, and CG Horror on Twitter. And listen, if you're on Twitter and you're somehow not following him, make sure that you do, because it is daily awesomeness. You know, I always talk about, I'd like to mention, like that, to me, that's a service to the community, right? When you scroll through the timeline and you're seeing awesome shit, every person, well, it's because people are taking the time to put something good up there. And as great as it was when your account was mostly just the Joe stuff, you've expanded in the most perfect way, right? Everything that you're showing that's non-GI Joe is 100% in our wheelhouse and exactly what we want to see. So I absolutely love the turn you took with the account, brother, and I think it's fucking fantastic. And you know the people responded in kind. You like doubled your follower count like in quick order. But to me, it's deserved when you put that much good content out that people want to see all the time. That's what's up. That's what's up for sure. So, yeah, and I love having you here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thano Karamalis is coming on next week, and open invitation for that as well. CG. Hopefully the comics drama somehow settles down a little bit, and maybe it's. I mean. Yeah. The FBI, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's insane, man. But hey, like, don't threaten to shoot up a place, on a live stream. That's just stupid.
Was it play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right?
Right, for sure. And it's like people with that attitude where it's like, yo, we got guns too. So I don't know why you're popping this shit. Like nobody wants that. We don't want a firefight at the comic show, but like that's a strange bully tactic, right? And just I don't know, on a live stream and like read the room, read the environment that we live in. It just all seems good. But yeah, no, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. Matt, your second. I CG. I tried to think about it the other day. I think tonight is your 8th appearance. I have to go back and double check that. Wow. But when I was thinking about it earlier, I think it's 8. So yeah, very, very cool. Matt, we can find you on Twitter. That is, you know what? I'm going to put it right in the comments here.
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I don't post on Instagram as much. I don't really post on Twitter all that much either, but I'm there.
Yep, there we go. Okay, so
it's kind of what I operate out of, but I do need to take a note out of Chris's page. I think it's about time for a website. So that'll be in the future. The best way to get into contact with me is through the messages on Etsy. That goes straight to my phone. It's almost like a text message to me. I generally see those pretty quick. So I have made all the listings live for the stuff we talked about tonight. So those are all up there if you're interested. If you have other ideas of stuff you want to see, I do not mind you messaging me on there. It's fine. Some people seem like they're bothered. They think they're bothering me, like reaching out, and it's not. It really isn't.
Right.
So if you got questions, or you got any ideas, or you want to ask anything, hit me up there. Again, that's the best way is through Etsy's messages right now.
There you go. And I just dropped the Etsy link in the comments. I just figured out how I could do that. So there it is there. I will put it in the show notes. So anybody that's here that's interested to know, there is the link to the Etsy. Make sure you are using promo code DestroDesigns10, and that's going to get you 10% off your purchase, which, and now with the M.A.G.S line, we have a space where it's, Pop Gold Frenzy says, just grab some of your new stuff. Thank you.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much, brother. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. You now join a elite group of people that have purchased while in show, right? G.I. Dave, Conrad, and I believe Roadblock, and now you, pillars of the community, stepping up and helping and making it, again.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's just like Matt said, this is what he does for a living. You're supporting his business, right? It's if you were to hire me to come put an outlet in for you or something, you'd be supporting me in the same way that you're now supporting Matt. So, I mean, how cool is it, that you get to basically help a friend, right? But also get awesome stuff,
Right.
And one more time, real quick, in case anybody hasn't missed it earlier, we are having a raffle, which the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds are going to go towards member of our community, Animus Levels. Gentleman has had tragedy strike his family. He lost 2 of his adult children and has adopted all 6 of their surviving children between the 2 of them. He also had 2 of his own kids, so now he's got 8 kids in house. Obviously the man could use some assistance, especially in this crazy economy. And what that is 4th place right now is the HasLab Cobra Commander sealed. 3rd place is Night Force Big Ben. The HasLab Cobra Commander is being sent by our brother Country Gentleman. Hopefully you got a chance to stop by and check out the show. This is 3rd place. This is from Just Another Jerk. It is the Night Force Big Ben complete. Um, oh, nice. That's all right, brother. You know, anything that you could do. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. This is second place. It is Mutton Junkyard. Um, just I love this set. You can't go wrong there. And then the first prize, which is really bringing all the boys to the yard, is the Serpentor sealed, and this is amazing. Right now, this is going for 250, $300 on eBay. That's basically what you're going to pay for this. It's probably at this point it's probably closer to three. But yeah, that's what's up with that. And you cannot this we have this community on Twitter that is undefeated. As far as I'm concerned, you can't fuck with us. I always talk about Abi and all the Figure Fight Club boys. They're doing a damn good thing over there. All the people that I've met through them are 100% great guys, and so I have to say that they've got something nice going on. But it is not this, right? It is not what we have over on the home base of Twitter. It's and this is yet another one. So pretty much so far, I'm pretty ecstatic about the money that's come in. I would say, like, if you added up the cost of all of these items, we're now, if we were to just have sold them, right, we're now going past somewhere in the ballpark of what that would be. So that means, after I put these up tomorrow morning, before I get going, I have to rework. There's and the Cletus of Cobra. I'm sorry. After those four are drawn, brother, Cletus of Cobra, if you buy 5 or more entries, you will be then entered in a separate pool of people that will get chosen to have Cletus of Cobra drawing him a character. You can plus Cletus. You can have Cletus in there also. But if you don't want Cletus in there, you could just have a character of your drawing. If you said, "Hey, I want the card out of this," I'm sure he'd give you the card out of that. Again, very, very cool drawing. Absolutely love it, and very nice of him to reach out. We're also going to have something coming. Brother Matt and Brother CG have offered to put up some stuff as well. So we'll talk about that down the road. But right now, we're just trying to put some money in the hands of Animus. I couldn't imagine having to deal with that situation. He's truly a great fucking man for doing what he's doing and standing up with the good face that he has. Because I've talked to the guy quite a bit, and he's never been nothing but ultra positive, right? And in the face of adversity, he's standing up and doing what needs to be done for the betterment of those kids. And I will applaud him for that forever. CG had a good idea that he brought to me the other day. And so somewhere down the line, we're going to do something else for our dude for sure. But, maybe as we get closer to Christmas time, because you can only imagine what that's like, right? Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that a little bit later as we get closer. And yeah, that's what's up. So we went through it all. I am Michael from Destro Designs. We are live from Viper Den Studios. I also have both accounts, Destro Designs, but Viper Den Studios. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. So that's all 5. I'm posting everything so like Chris and Matt, when I'm sending out these things, they're going to 10 accounts all over the place. I'm trying to cast I've got it down to where I could do it pretty quick, and I just want to cast a big a net as possible, right? So you can find me on any social media place with both of those accounts. Destro Designs is just all kinds of craziness about toys and mostly G.I. Joe, and Viper Den Studios tends to be my finished photography. YouTube is here. You're here. Destro Designs. We generally do live from Viper Den Studios Saturday night at 8 o'clock. On Mondays, I'm over with my brother Mark from Destro is My Spirit Animal Live. We just went past, I think it's on episode, I think I've been on all of them except for 3 of them. So we're coming up on what will be my 30th episode soon. When we're over there tomorrow, like I said, on Monday, we're talking about the He-Man movie. So I'm going to I will have gone and saw that by the time we start that show. Brother R.A. Rain is joining us. Very excited about that. Also on the Tuesdays and Fridays, you can find me dropping the articles from Serpentor's Lair. Make sure you are checking out serpentorslair.com. All the really awesomeness that goes on over there. You can also find them at Fans of Serpentor's Lair on X. And Serpentor's Lair X. Fans of Serpentor's Lair on Instagram. Serpentor's Lair X on X. Oh my God, yeah, that's so much to say. Which we missed my brother tonight. I hope all is well. And yeah, that's what's up. So just a quick recap. There is 8.8 seconds left, and the Knicks are up by 3. So this is good. They're either about to win a championship or lose a heartbreaker at the buzzer here. Very, very interesting. So once again, CG Horror, thank you so much for coming and joining us, my brother. Love having you on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. And next week too, we're going to take Thano on his Thano. I actually reached out to him to make sure I was mispronouncing his name right. I guess I nailed the last name, but I was saying Thano. It's not, it's Thano. So Thano Karamalis going to be joining us next week. He has one of the most ridiculous collections I've ever seen, an amazing customizer, and it's time to put him out there in front of the world so people can see because he's got a great collection. So I'm sure, you'll have questions for that man and all those customs he has, right, brother?
Oh, absolutely.
For sure. And he seems like a good guy. Been talking to him a little bit. Oh, and if you haven't seen it, he's had a bunch of pictures he's been posting about his dad. Apparently his dad is like a famous hairdresser. He had pictures with a whole bunch of celebrities, royalty, and the whole nine. So very, very cool. Matt from M.A.G.S Mind, thank you for coming through once again. Greatly appreciate it. I'm glad I was able to get this all squared away so we could show pictures of your amazing work. Again, the Etsy link is here in the comments. Make sure you're going over there. Destro Designs 10 to get you 10% off on all his stuff. Also, sys3darsenal.com. Use Destro Designs there to get you 10% off also. So there it is. We've got another one in the books. Thank you all again for joining me. Everybody in the comments, thank you for keeping it hot. Anybody that watched, and then again, everybody coming through on the replay squad, I appreciate you all. Especially big shout out to our Twitter family and everybody in that community. So that's it, boys. I will see you in those Twitter streets tomorrow. Everybody have a good night. Hold on a second. Oh, here we go. I know what I got to do. I got to end the stream, not leave the studio.
Leaves us